Your pride comes a fall. Did anyone hear you call as you drove your Volvo into a canal? Oh, this is it. I love you, but I've nowhere else to go. I'm a depressio. I'm a depressio.
Where did you meet? Where did you meet Andy Cole?
This was an evening with United Legends at the hotel in Manchester, which we sponsored, and we provided some sports memorabilia.
Nice. Okay.
So I think it was Giggsy, Cole,
Dennis
Irwin,
Dennis
David
Irwin.
May. David
David
May.
May.
Oh yeah.
He made the night, that guy. What a ledge.
Yeah.
Good night. We've met a few now, Scholes. We've done a few of these events now.
Yeah. Who's your favourite United player that you've met?
I'd probably say Dennis Irwin.
Dennis Irwin.
Yeah,
Dennis Irwin.
Yeah.
We both like Guinness.
I liked David May because his sense of humour is like he might as well have been in forces. He would just
Good sense of humour.
Yeah.
It was just non-stop crack.
Yeah. Just just cracking up like
Non-stop.
jokes,
Non-stop
and
doing crack.
Yeah.
David May was doing crack. Unbelievable. Welcome to Depressed CEOs episode God knows what I never remember, and we're here today with the Green Attic guys.
It's not episode
Incredible.
666, is it?
It's definitely not episode 666.
That's
no.
all right then.
How many
what
years
number-
would that take?
What number was David May?
4.
Yeah, let's go episode
I
4.
think it was 4 when you were at United. So moved from Blackburn to United in 95, I think. Ish.
United
He knows.
fanatics, mate.
Oh, he knows.
I'm a man.
You've got
He knows
you've
his
got the
stuff.
numbers, you've got the squad, like fucking
Ask me
squad transfer
anything
details.
from 93 up to about 2002. Then you
Right,
start, then you start drinking
yeah.
and then you lose it all.
I could go totally a little bit there. Andy
Yeah.
Cole, Dwight York days kind of thing.
How much did they pay for David May in '94?
Bloody hell, that'd be probably 2 mil.
You don't you see that's a hazard in a guess.
But
But you
yeah,
don't-
around
yeah.
that time you won't get paid more. Well, Andy Cole was 7 mil from Newcastle in 95.
Mate, fucking hell, he's remembered that one. That's
I remember
that's
7
lodged in
million.
your head.
Jesus.
95. That I remember Shearer went to Newcastle 15 million, didn't he? He was the world record transfer in 95, 96.
I
when
remember him going.
Kevin
yeah.
Keegan signed him from Blackburn when Fergie were trying to sign him at United.
Yes.
So
yeah.
Fergie couldn't get Shearer, so he got Cole instead.
Do you reckon he would have done as well if he'd gone United
Shearer
or better?
Shearer would have ended up with a load of medals, wouldn't he? But Andy Cole got them all instead.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
why he always says he don't regret going to United, but
Yeah.
a little bit of him thinking
Yeah.
could have had how many European Cups, FA Cups, Premier League.
Yeah.
He got 1 league title with Blackburn in 95.
But I guess here's the rub. If you were a football player and you're a Man United fan, Man United come calling, but also at the same time, I don't know who's flying at the minute.
City, innit?
I mean, City would be hard for you
Yeah,
because
that
you wouldn't
would-
be able to sign for them. Liverpool would be equally
Definitely
hard.
not.
But if there was a team that was absolutely flying,
Brighton.
yeah, Brighton, yeah, Nottingham Forest. If
Yeah.
Nottingham Forest came like calling, you're like, oh, it's convenient. They're doing really well at the
Yeah.
minute. Could, you know,
They're going to double the
could-
wages.
Yeah. Could have done really well, but then you'd
I
sign
think-
for United, wouldn't you?
Yeah, it's always going to be United. That's your team.
Yeah.
But that's what Shearer always says. His team was
Yeah.
Newcastle. That was his
That's it.
boyhood team.
Yeah,
So he wanted to play
Yeah,
for his.
fair play to him.
He watched Newcastle all his childhood, and he wanted to play for his team.
yeah.
So
That's
fair
it.
play to him.
That's it, lads. It's one of them, isn't it? Like, I guess you would just probably do what you feel.
Definitely.
It's the first record back in the studio, so sorry for the chaotic resemblance of it. We've forgotten the ring light. That's on me. We've forgotten cables. We're supposed to have 2 cameras. You can't see Dave because we mislaid a cable over Christmas somewhere.
Brian Cox is at the door talking about entropy.
Yes, we've got Brian Cox talking about entropy at the door, and fuck knows what else is going on. But yeah, we're here with you guys. First of all, I guess tell our listeners and tell the world what it is that you guys do and how that started.
I'll leave that with you.
Leaving that with
Go
me.
on.
So we'll briefly.
Beautiful.
Am I close enough?
It's
close enough.
beautiful.
So started out with as a bit of a hobby for you, George.
Yep.
Buying, selling, trading, casual wear.
Yeah, Adidas
Clothing.
Originals.
Yeah.
Stony CP, etc. You were doing quite a lot of commission-based stuff in the early days.
Yeah.
Right.
I was a musician in a band as
Yeah.
well as gas engineer, plumber.
Nice.
So bit of both, you know what I mean? Making the dream, keeping the dream alive whilst
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
earning real money.
Yeah.
And I was like, you need to do that full time. You need to do that full time.
Yeah.
You were in a
I was in the care sector
Care
for a
sector.
good 10, 12 years, working with lads with old boys with dementia, Alzheimer's, and young lads with being a bit naughty, really, their learning difficulties. And
I'd say those are the best people to work with. Maybe I've never worked with people with dementia, but I did work in a preschool for a while.
yeah,
And that was
I
class.
enjoyed the naughty side of it and the bit
Yeah.
of a mischievous. The dementia I found very tough. In a ward with probably 10, 15 blokes with dementia is hard for 12-hour shifts. But it definitely changed. Well, it opened my eyes up to the whole disease and Alzheimer's, dementia.
Yeah.
There's just not enough awareness about it at all. Still, I don't think.
Absolutely.
So if you've got family members that have had it yourself, I don't know if anyone has here, but I've had a couple.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
and,
I have, yeah.
It's you just watch that person just
hard work.
just fade away from you. You'll end up with a shell, and that person just it's like they've been taken away from you before they've even passed away.
Sure.
So
yeah.
I was watching him do this, and I'm like, you need to do that stuff like full time. The
Properly,
stuff you're
yeah.
enjoying. You're going in charity shops
He
and
started in charity
rocking
shops,
out
yeah.
with shirts for a fiver and selling them at
Find-
90
yeah.
quid, and I'm like, you need to be doing that full time.
Finding like
with
old
no
football
intent,
shirts.
with
Yeah.
no intention of being a part of it myself at all.
Sure.
I bought an old barn during COVID, and I moved over near York, and I was just happily
Right.
building this barn.
Yeah.
I was buzzing. I was loving it, building it every day, me and my mate. And then, in my mind, that was it. I was a property developer.
Right. Okay.
And then it's like that bit in Grand Designs where they've run out of money and like they've got to go back
Need
to
some
work.
help.
Ah, shit.
So I was like, I didn't think I was going to have to do gas engineering anymore. So I reluctantly went and did it for about 12 months. And then you were like, why don't you come on board with me and give this a go? And I was like, yeah, let's do it.
Did you two know each other beforehand then?
Yeah.
Were your mates? And
Yeah, good 15.
So
odd
where
years.
did you meet?
I went to watch Will's band in a local boozer, and then
cool.
nice.
yeah, got chatting, and we're into the similar music, the indie scene, the Oasis scene,
Of
the
course.
90s, the Close, and then just got chatting and stayed mates and watched him a bit regular. Got actually genuinely like his music, even though he's been mate.
But you don't listen to it while
Yeah.
I'm there. Turn that shite off.
So you were saying that it sort of started when you were just going into charity shops and finding little bits, and obviously you've got an eye for clothing
eye
that's sort
for
of
it,
worth stuff.
Yeah,
But it's also it's insanely hard also to flip stuff like that, because I've gone into charity shops and picked up like Fred Perry polos and stuff and been like, oh, that's a £5, I'll flip that on Vinted, and no fucker buys it. So you've got to have an eye for
every fucker's
for
at it
design.
now. Every
Yeah, yeah.
fucker's at it now. Students are massively into it.
Yeah.
I can walk around town centres and I can see them, what people are doing. They're looking at
Thrifting.
and then thrifting, and you pick your phone up and you see what's going on eBay, Vinted, is it worth getting? I think I was just ahead of the game slightly. I think
Yeah.
I probably were at it 10 years in charity shops. I found some classic football shirts for £2, still on for 50, 60.
Yeah.
Could be Real Madrid, Man United.
Well,
no, that's a big turnaround, like 2 to 50.
Yeah.
That's
a
obviously the
huge
bit,
markup,
yeah.
I was
yeah.
using eBay a lot then at that time,
Yeah.
but then eBay started charging silly fees, didn't they?
Yeah.
And
They've had to have gone back on it
They've
now, haven't
literally
they?
just sacked them because Vinted were taking over with no fees, and eBay
Yeah.
have dropped their fees now, so they're back in game a bit.
Yeah.
But to be fair with vintage, I was surprised how insanely easy it was, because
Yeah.
all the fees are handled like by the buyer, right? They pay for postage and everything.
Yeah.
All you have to do
Everything.
is slap a label on and send it
Yeah.
away, which
Yeah.
is nuts. Yeah.
It's safe as well. Yeah.
Vintage great, but I think we've found like now we're getting bigger and shifting a lot more items. The upload process
It's a lot slower than
it's
eBay.
too slow for us
Yeah.
Interesting.
individually.
So when you start to scale, it's so you would say it's great for like a
It's great for like us
An
individually.
independent, yeah.
Fantastic. It's fantastic.
People want to make a bit of extra cash during the week.
Yeah.
It's great, but for
I
a
think-
business,
I think like to just go a bit further on your point there of like how we're doing it. We've got the platform as well now,
Yeah.
which to a degree you'd already built. I mean, you were at like 22K before I
Yeah.
joined on Instagram, and you'd
See-
already kind of got your feet under the table with it. I mean, and then I came along and I'm not bigging myself up in any way, but then we started
start
doing the
more
reels.
videos. And
Yeah,
reels.
doing
and then,
like
and
the
then
live
people
vids
are
and
not
stuff.
only getting a pair of handball specials.
Yeah.
they're
there you
getting
go.
me and him
Yeah.
being
He's named it.
yeah.
knobheads together, and it's like a whole package.
Well, the
sort
amount of
thing,
people that
innit?
meet us saying, "Oh, we love what you do. You're just being you."
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're not pretending to be anybody that we're not. We're just fucking being us out. We're just
My favorite
taking
video that
piss.
I've seen of you guys. So I think we've met through social media because you watched one of our episodes or clips of our episodes and followed us, and we've chatted to you and now got you in, which is a nice connection to have made. But there's a clip or a video that you put up where you go and you post in the shoes. And you're with the lady in the post office that obviously knows you guys really well.
Susan,
and
shout out to Susan.
Shout out to Susan, because she's such a character as well.
Oh.
And the fact, like, it's you're bringing people into your world with that kind of thing, and I love that. Like, you are very.
We see her on a daily basis.
Oh, I love Susan.
Yeah.
I
And
love
people
Susan.
are buying into like your lives as well.
Yeah,
It's
you're
not just
very authentic,
that's-
you guys.
I think that's how a lot of coffee people make a lot of money, because you're buying into a brand.
Product
Yeah.
and a
Yeah.
brand.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just if you like what you like, I'm much more supportive people actually like of a business
Yeah.
or even an entertainer. To be honest,
Yeah.
like I'm much more willing to support somebody who's more, human. Like they're just cool to watch as well. You would even just support it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's and I think that's winning a lot these days over than this. Like you see a lot of celebrities, and for whatever reason, they're bringing out
it's
like
just-
whiskies, and I think a lot of people now are like, I don't want your whiskey. Like what the fuck?
I don't,
You've already
want
got-
I don't want a bottle of Carol Vorderman's
Yeah.
Chateau Neuf de Pape. Thank you very much.
We need to Photoshop that.
Yeah, have you
Carol
thought-
Vorderman's Chateau Neuf. Yeah, for
Have you
sure.
thought about bringing out a range of booze, like green attic booze?
To be fair, yeah, you could move into the boozing business.
Can
but-
I just say
Shoes
on,
and booze.
Can I just say on record now? Only if Guinness collab with us on it.
But that would be sick. To be fair,
Yeah, we sup a lot of
well,
Guinness.
What about this though? You could get like black and white Adidas gear, Guinness logo, and then an official collab or whatever.
Imagine
So,
that.
also you guys have done. I'm going to jump around a little bit. Here, sorry,
no.
you
No,
guys
you're
have done a collab recently with.
with Peter O'Toole. Was you going to say then?
I was going to say the brand in Manchester. Was that-
yeah, Peter's from Huddersfield, but he's
Yeah.
worked with Umbro and Adidas. And
Nice, yeah,
He's,
yeah.
he's a local to us. He's a Huddersfield lad.
because you shared the other day. It was on telly, right? On
That was
No, sorry, that was
Owen
something
Scott.
else.
We've done a
Owen
collab
Scott.
jacket with Owen Scott.
Sorry,
yeah, sorry.
so a couple of
That's
collabs.
another one, yeah.
Class of
another-
'92, Man United, but it is
Yeah, yeah.
customizable.
Yeah, the Salford manager was wearing
The
it.
Salford
in the City
manager,
game the
yeah.
other day.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, because you shared that's massive, right?
But we
That's
had no,
worldwide.
big moment.
Yeah, it's
we had
brilliant.
no idea. So I'm sat there with my 11-year-old, and he wanted to watch the match. I'm like, right, go on then, let's watch it.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, we can swear on this podcast.
Yeah,
can't we?
yeah,
I'm
of
like,
course, you
yeah,
can,
mate,
mate.
I
go
nearly
for
fell
it.
off the fucking couch. I'm like, and my missus and my son are like, "What are you talking about?" I'm like,
That's my jacket.
He's wearing our freaking jacket.
Yes, lad.
And
What
then
a
I messaged, I
feeling.
rang
I'm
you,
at the
didn't I?
game. I went to the
He's at
game.
the game, and I'm like ringing him, like
Answer your
not
phone.
answering. I'm thinking he's on piss. This guy's answer the phone in capitals. He rings me up. I'm like, he's got our jacket on, and he went, "Fuck me, I can see him. He has got our jacket."
You
on."
should have run down to the front. Like, can I get a picture of you?
It's
fucking
all happening in
mate?
real time.
Yeah,
Sort
that's
that out.
it.
It
It
was
was
good.
nice. We'd been planning that jacket for a few months.
Yeah, yeah.
And then
Yeah.
it just so happened Salford drew City in FA Cup, and then it's all over. Well, FA Cup's worldwide, isn't it? BBC, it's
Yeah,
shown
yeah.
all over the world, and I saw your jacket showed all over the world. It's crazy.
The best part about it for me though was like being a bit emotional. My little lad was so made up that he's watching the telly and like his dad's collab jacket's on the telly. It's like little moments like
Yeah.
that in your life because he was just so. Because you think your kids aren't always proud of you, especially when
Yeah,
you're in
yeah.
your 40s. You're like, oh, my dad's not cool anymore and all that crap. But he were
But he
buzzing
was-
about it. He were buzzing.
That's a lovely moment,
Yeah,
man.
he did. I
How
was
old's-
really happy
how
about
old's,
that. He's 11.
He's 11. No, that's
Yeah, he's
cool.
11.
Yeah, it's a good age, I
He's
guess.
taking
like,
it
it's
in, taking
starting
it
to
in.
get into stuff. Like,
Yeah.
so when want to go back a little bit to the beginning. When did you guys start getting into like clothes and fashion and stuff like that? You mentioned it's like sort of it's terrace wear, right? And then
Yeah.
and the music, I
It
guess,
all
of
goes hand in hand, doesn't it?
90s.
The 90s,
Sort of
yeah.
90s
Like,
influence.
massive Oasis fan.
Yeah,
Obviously, Liam and Noel, City fans, which we let them off because they've got decent music.
yeah.
So yeah, I started very early for me, but it started with tracksuits, the Nike, the Adidas, and
Of
then
course.
as you get a bit older, you start discovering jeans, and then your Adidas, and then
What's some of your favourite brands that you've sort of picked up over the years, whether they're cool or not now?
you think of all the older ones, the brands.
Fido Dido.
Dido.
What else?
We had a mad session in Huddersfield with a black jeans and like really dark black jeans, and it was Eclipse. Do you remember that?
Eclipse.
I don't
Eclipse.
know.
Do you remember?
I remember
Oh,
Eclipse,
Spliffy.
mate. You
Spliffy.
should-
Spliffy.
Yeah, I think
Everybody was wearing it.
I think you would if you saw the logo.
You would, yeah.
Maybe I would. Yeah.
Do you remember Naf Naf?
No.
I don't remember Naff now.
Naff Co, wasn't it?
Remember Naff Naff? Yeah.
See, I thought I knew clothes, man. I don't know shit, man.
To be fair, like I would say Jim's kind of trendy. I don't. I'm an ADHD man. I just dress.
A lot of
whatever.
them 90s brands now. A lot of students are trying to search for them now because they're going for a fortune.
Well, I remember like Coogee sweaters.
Yeah,
Remember that being like
yeah.
this is a few years ago. My one of my mates turned up on a day out in a Coogee sweater, and I was like, "Fucking hell, you Biggie Smalls rolling up in a Coogee sweater that she's got off fucking eBay or something for an insane amount of money." But I'm like, I don't know how much they were new back in the 90s or whatever, but it looked dope. But
I've got loads. I'm a bit of a secret hoarder. It's quite well organised, but I've got all boxes of stuff at my house.
Yeah.
And I opened one the other day. I hadn't told you about this, actually. I've got an original 90s Mighty Ducks puffer that I used to rock.
Oh, wait a minute.
And
wait a
matching
minute.
baseball
Ducks.
cap.
oh,
Anyway, my little lad said, have a look on eBay, Dad. I thought, oh, yeah. And I can't remember the exact amount, but it was something ridiculous, like 300 quid. I was like, as if I've just got that in a box.
Be on website next week.
Oh, I'll be on website.
one of my mates, I'm never forgiven for this. At the end of club night, we were DJing years ago. There was a lost property item, and it was a Mighty Ducks sweater, and it was so sick. And I was like, that'll fit me. That. And but he was like, yeah, I saw it first, so took it, and still wears it to this day. And every time I see him in it, I'm like,
Good film as well. Enjoyed that film.
We might be able to make a sale here. Mighty Ducks puffer.
well,
large.
it's a little bit different when you find it. I mean, yeah, but think about it. I think
Could
about
leave
it.
it hanging about outside.
I'm a sucker, man, for clothes. I love clothes
We've got a
shopping.
couple of tops in the van for you. Like, we brought.
we
brought you a couple of gifts.
Oh no! Do you know what? Beautiful stuff, guys.
well,
Like,
bless.
so I mean, I did say about this, didn't I? So I mean, like, I'm quite into my clothes. I do like dressing. You're less bothered about clothes.
No.
Yeah.
No, do you know what it is? I do like T-shirts.
Yeah.
But
But
I
what-
like T-shirts.
But what about t-shirts? Is it you like design?
I think it's like, do you know what? If I had the money, like just to fucking sparf on clothes, I would get into it. Like I like T-shirts that are, I like meme T-shirts, to be honest. Everything that's like just in the current kind of like zeitgeist. But saying that, if I had a ton of money, I would honestly get a what do you call them? A stylist.
Right.
I would legit get a stylist. Just be like, hey,
you guys
I don't know
fancy
how to
styling
dress.
this man?
We're obsessed with clothes. I mean, sometimes I have like an out of body experience. I'm like, it's not very manly what we're doing here with clothes. It's like, but we do love it. But
I think that the guys love clothes, man. Like it's true.
No, it
But
is
that-
like it. Yeah,
but
it's legit.
not just like loads of guys love clothes, right? And I love like your thing. Don't tell your missus at the end of the video.
Oh, the amount of blokes that buy stuff off us and say, "Oh, can you send it to work?" I don't know what this is thinking. Another package has come, another box of trainers or another jacket. I'll send it wherever you fuck you want, mate, as long as you're paying.
There's a brand in Germany called the Dudes. And it's not a casuals brand, but it's a brand I used to wear a lot with the band. Have you ever come across it?
Yeah,
it's kind of a skater brand,
boy.
but the t-shirts,
skater is probably where I'm starting.
The t-shirts are so fucking good, right?
Yeah.
They've all got swear words on, but it's all that art, that pop art stuff that you'd know if you saw it. But
I'm a big fan of
I used to
pop
have
art.
loads of it. It's called the Dudes in Berlin. It's ace, right?
Yeah.
And I used to buy all the clothes because of all the swear words. And one of them, in big white letters on the back, just said, "Fucking hell, I could get used to this."
Yeah.
So I had so many of these t-shirts because I used to like to wear them on stage and just be a dick, basically.
Yeah. Be adored.
Anyway, so I got so used to just pulling them on, I sort of forgot I was wearing them. Anyway, I got on a fucking Ryanair flight with this t-shirt on and my family.
Yeah.
And the air hostess came up to me as I was walking down and she went, "Excuse me, sir." I said, "Yes." She said, "You can't wear that t-shirt on this plane." I said, "You what?" She went, "You're going to have to take that t-shirt off or cover it up."
Sounds like she's propositioning you to me.
I didn't even know what t-shirt I had on because I'm not used to wearing them. So I says to my other half, I'm like, "What t-shirt?" She says, "Oh, you've got that fucking allocated used to this t-shirt on." Where she'd come up to me was where I was sitting. So I sat down and I was kind of like, do I get angry about this? No, because they don't mess about on flights now, do they? They just kick you off. Anyway, all of a sudden, like all the people around me were absolutely disgusted that this air hostess had challenged what I was wearing. Like they were, I mean, I don't get offended, but these people were offended and they all sort of like, basically, cut a long story short, just all went up and said to her, look, none of us are offended, he's keeping the T-shirt on. And I was
we don't want to see him topless.
mentality.
we do not want this man to be topless in front of us. That would be worse for. Imagine then if you'd taken it off and you just got fucking hell, I could get used to this tattooed on your back.
Just to reveal a much more offensive tattoo. Yeah.
Oh man, that's hilarious.
Yeah, it was funny at the time, but
So
That's good to hear. That's good to hear. Like the people stood up for you.
I'm sorry, sir.
No,
You cannot wear that T-shirt on
pack
here.
mentality.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's wild, that, isn't it? That was recently.
I even messaged it. I bought that much gear off them guys back in the day. I messaged them. I was like, "You're not going to believe what's just happened to me on a flight."
That's class.
Hoping I'd get like a free T-shirt or something. I didn't, but
Did you get a response? They say,
oh yeah,
that's
the response
good.
back, yeah.
Oh.
But they're all Germans, so like unbelievable.
I had. It's weird. I had a German. Well, I've got a German client at the minute. I just did the first draft of this video, and honestly, I don't want to like say all Germans, but they are very like efficient with what they put. He responded to me yesterday, and I got anxiety about it because oh my god. He goes, "Thank you for the video." He said, "I will be sending back extensive comments," and I didn't know whether that was a good thing. I was like, okay, I look forward to your comments, kind of thing. And I'm just sat there sweating, like extensive comments.
I love the
But
Germans.
I think it's like
man.
Germans, like very direct, and very like.
My uncle by marriage was part of the Hitler Youth.
Mike,
Here we go.
okay,
Here we go.
I'm
This
we're
is
in.
interesting.
Yeah.
No, it's very interesting.
Okay.
He was
Kind of
part
on
the Hit-
point from Elon Musk. I don't know
He
if
was
you boys.
part of the Hitler. Obviously,
By marriage.
children in Nazi Germany were forced into
Hitler Youth.
into that. I know
Yeah.
we've gone way left here. You might
No,
have to
no,
edit-
no,
you
no,
might
it's
have
fine.
to edit this out.
No, it's
No,
fine,
no,
it's fine.
I'm editing this in.
Yeah.
I'm not
Green
putting
Attic's finished.
0
No,
to
it's not.
21
It's interesting.
minutes.
He
Hitler
was
Youth.
part of the Hitler Youth, and he escaped after going through that as a child.
Yeah.
He escaped. I'm saying escaped. Obviously, the war was over. But at 17, he left Germany
Yeah,
and went to Vancouver, where he lived the rest of his life.
yeah.
But obviously, I didn't know him till the back end of his life because obviously I wasn't born back then. But he used to sit. I visited him quite a lot in Vancouver, and he used to sit there, and in a really thick German accent, he'd go, "Willi?" I'd say, "Yes, uncle." He'd say, "Go to the freezer and fetch me the Jagermeister." Just gave him a bottle of frozen. Cool guy though.
Nice.
Cool
I've
guy.
always wanted to visit Germany.
Mate, like one of my best mates is I met him in a bar in Berlin.
Who's
I went
that?
over me and the girl I was seeing at the time were on a day sesh, absolutely pissed. And this guy came in flying for a club night, and I was like, "Oh, what is it? Is it techno?" Because we were in Berlin. And he was like, "No, I'm playing hip hop." And I was like, "My guy, that's more my kind of vibes." He just came in, sat with us for ages. And we were chatting, and he was like, "I'm a DJ. This is my night." And like, I think we couldn't go because it was a day when we went there. But I was like, "I'll get you on socials or whatever, and we'll just keep in touch." And he was like, "Yeah, come and DJ with me." And I was like, "Yeah," because people say mad shit to you all the time. And then he messaged me and was like, "When are you going to come and DJ with me?" And I was like, "Next month." And he was like, "Yeah, cool, let's do it." Brilliant. Booked us in a tour of like venues in Berlin and like West Germany, like where he lives. And then I've had him over here a few times. Like he DJ'd at my wedding with me. Like he's just a great guy. But one of the funniest stories ever, he came over and he was staying with me in Manchester, and we were doing like a bit of a gigs around the UK kind of thing. But one of the nights I was just DJing on my own and he was just chilling at my house. So he came to see me DJ for a bit, but he was like, "We've been drinking so much the last few days. I'm just going to get some food and go home and just chill." And he was in a takeaway and he ordered his food and some guy was like, "Mad accent that, are you from Germany?" And he went, "Yeah." And he went, "Great engineers." And my mate was incensed telling me this later on. He was like, "Great engineers. You British always say great engineers. Germans, great engineers." Okay, I have an engineering degree, but what makes you think that we're great engineers? And I was like, "You literally are an engineer, lad.
Make the best cars.
You engineer everything. Like,
do,
what are
don't
you
they?
on about?" So yeah, it's so funny, man. Germans, fucking hell.
I've had a few German clients. They're great. Like,
Yeah.
you know where you stand with the German.
Like their shoes, like their cars.
Yeah,
What can I
direct.
say?
I love him.
I worked for, when I was gas engineering, I worked for a guy of German descent, and he collected, never told you about this actually, he collected pony skin shoes. Apparently there's a real
Pony
sort of
skin?
like specialisation for shoes in
Whoa.
Germany made from pony skin.
Pony
you open this
skin?
cupboard and it was just full of these like, it's just like leather, you wouldn't know.
You wouldn't know if
You wouldn't know if
yeah,
you didn't
right.
know. But yeah, Apart
Interesting.
from
Pony
the
skin.
tail on the back of them. Of course.
You know what they say, mate.
Yeah. Don't you start collecting
What do
pony
they
skin
say?
shoes, man.
If the shoe fits.
If the shoe fits. Oh, fucking hell. What I was going to say is you brought some bits in to show us because you've got, speaking of German things, you've got some rare or interesting Adidas
Couple of bits.
trainers to show
So-
us. So we don't want to forget about these. So let's
Yeah.
get them in now.
So today, before we came here, we've been to Derby and we've picked up about 70 pairs of size
Tell us a
7s.
little bit about your trip today because you told me a little bit of this outside.
Okay, so, and I mean this with all due respect to
Yeah.
the said person, but we did speak to his sister quite a bit, and she said he probably would have seen the funny side.
Yes.
So,
So we can mention the story.
bless him.
Okay.
He passed away now. Quite a lot of the collections we buy
Are from lads who have sadly passed
are
away.
from deceased.
We've gone from charity shops now to sort of buying trainer collections from people
Yeah.
that are selling them or passed on. Or,
Collectors, like say, who have time to move stuff on.
yeah.
It's a bit like, do you know, like the Drew with the antiques on the TV? Him and his mate go around within the
Yeah,
van.
yeah,
but they
yeah,
buy
yeah.
antiques. We go around and buy traders and clothes.
Nice. Yeah.
It's very similar. So if anyone wants to sponsor us, Dave, or out like that, come on, film us.
Yeah.
Give us
yeah.
a van.
Yeah, we need a sprinter as well.
Yeah, VWs.
Cam belt's changed, so it don't need that doing before you buy it either.
So yeah, we get a lot of our collections off people who have sadly passed away. And today, these
Yeah.
these
We've
couple
got
of pairs are from.
So I'm holding some dead man's shoes, basically.
Basically.
Yeah.
Great,
And one
great
of-
film, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Great film, great film.
One of the pairs, she said that he would have found this funny, so I
I'll
feel
let you
alright
tell
talking
that
about
story.
it. One of the pairs, which obviously we're not going to sell, or are we? He actually had on.
Everything's got its price.
Am I holding them right now?
No, you're not. But she took them off just before he went in. So
These,
him,
these
but-
were on his
It's the-
casket.
These are on the dead. These are on the dead man as he's in his casket going
Exactly.
towards the
Okay.
the crematory. Yeah.
Well, not that particular pair.
This
Oh,
pair,
okay.
that one.
one of the pairs.
It's
But
this
she
pair
did.
Will's
She
got here.
did say that
Okay.
he would find it funny, so I feel like safe to talk about it. But full respect
Yeah, no,
to him
no,
and his family.
absolutely.
Let me just say that.
Yeah, no, full respect
I
to
think
the
the
lad.
ones you've got there.
So what have we got here? We've got
They're the
Newton
limited
Heaths.
edition United ones.
We ought to do this like you were me. You could do it like you were me.
So
Adidas Newton Heath size
we've got
7.
these Adidas
New
Newton
tags.
Heath size 7,
Brand new with tags.
brand new with tags, immaculate condition. Look at that, it's a lovely. I'm colourblind. I'm going to say brownie green colour. That's got the. It hasn't got the gum sole. We're not fucking about. It's got the dark. It's got the dark sole on there. So you step on some dog shit, it won't matter. United badge on the back. Doesn't get better than that. Newton
Wait, it's got
Heaths.
Unite. Can I see this?
Yeah. Oh,
What
pass it
size
over
are
here. What size are
Dave,
you?
what size are you?
I'm a 9.
These are
Could have had a
7s.
sale then.
Could have had a sale.
There are
The-
7 Newton Heaths. Well, that was United's original name before they changed to Manchester United.
There you
They're
go.
fire.
Didn't know that. Did anyone else know that? Newton Heath, United's
Newton
original
Heath,
name.
Newton Heath, they were the railway men in Manchester.
What sort of year are we talking about there?
1862.
In the box as well. Boxing, really good nick. To be
Box.
fair.
1862 or something.
To be
So
fair,
do you get a lot of people that buy? So my missus like rags on me because I'll buy trainers, wear them straight away, and just knacker them up. They're done.
Yeah.
Like they're done in. And my mates actually, I think they follow you or maybe you follow them. They're called Fresh Kicks.
Yes,
they're from
yeah.
Boston. They look
Yeah.
after and sort of do up trainers that have been
Refurbished.
they refurb all the trainers. I really don't
So
wanna-
this man had these shoes on as he
not
was
that
in the
particular
coffin.
pair.
Not
one
this
of-
pair.
Might have been this pair. One
This
of
is the
them.
Run DMC.
Right.
they're
Tell
I
us
don't know
which
why
pair.
I
Tell
went
us
to
which
smell
pair.
them, by the way, and I don't know why. I was just
Sorry,
intrigued.
they're brand new.
I love the smell of new shoes. By the way,
Right.
it is one of my favourite smells in the world.
So not to dust over your point,
No.
me and George are very much of the same ilk.
Yeah.
Like if we buy trainers, they're
You-
to wear.
you wear them,
We
yeah,
aren't
yeah.
keeping them in
Wear,
a box
not
in
to
the cupboard.
stare.
Yeah, but people do just buy them and box them
Yes,
and
they
just
do.
keep them.
And that box there that you just had in your hand probably
Yeah.
wouldn't come up to scratch for somebody that's in that
a
box.
real
collector.
trainer
They
collector.
They want the box absolutely mint.
But what do they do? So they just look at them in their house and that.
Yeah, but that's the
Yeah.
like that's collectors.
we-
man.
No, absolutely. Like I'm just trying to get my head
We-
around
we
it.
got-
I'm not saying it's wrong.
We
by
got
the
a
way.
message yesterday from a guy in Brighton.
Just to put it out there.
I'm attacking you. What are
Yeah,
you
yeah.
saying about collectors? man?
Sorry, mate.
We got a message yesterday from a guy in Brighton, and his house was like it was next level display casing
Display
going on,
cases.
Boy.
lighting in with the trainers, all in glass displays, and
Yeah.
and he was obviously trying to get us to see if we could give him a price, and I just knew how much he loved his trainers. He
Yeah.
was not going to let them go for a price where we would have any profit.
Make
to
any profit.
So I just
Yeah.
held him up. I was just like, "Where are you?" He's like, "In Brighton." I was like, "Oh, we could have come and done some content." But I said,
yeah.
"You're not selling them to us, pal." I said, "You're far too in love with them." To
Yeah,
sell them
yeah,
to us
yeah.
for a price we can make any money on.
Well, this is an interesting thing. Like, have you guys? Obviously, you guys do a lot of videos and stuff. I've not seen everything that you've done because we've only followed each other for a couple of months. But have you done like little documentary things where you go to collectors' houses?
Absolutely,
Because that could be really cool to see.
that
Some
could be
I'd like to see.
Yeah,
that.
and some people don't like being on camera, so you've got respect if you're in their house.
Yeah.
And obviously, with these big collections, there's £1,000 worth of stock, and you don't want to be letting people know where people live.
Yeah. Well, you could say the city, right?
You can say the city, the town,
Yeah,
wherever we are.
yeah. Or I'm in the south of England. Or
We have
something
done
like
it,
that.
There's
Yeah.
one guy in there, really good
We see a
customer
regular
of ours,
customer.
and he doesn't want to be involved in it anyway. He let us do a little video
Of
in
some of
his
his
room,
collection.
Yeah,
even though he's already had that room emptied once.
Yeah.
Yeah, he actually
Right.
told us a story,
Yeah.
so yeah, someone had
Whoa.
already done him over.
Oh, so someone's come and robbed his.
Somebody's robbed him once.
Oh,
his
yeah.
collection.
Shit, man.
Yeah,
You don't
so-
know who's watching you, do you? Do you know what I mean? When you got like a
that's social media,
Collection.
isn't it?
Yeah.
I think, I mean, not going too far into it because we have a lot of respect for the guy, but I think he actually found out who it was, if I remember.
Yeah.
And he might have gone round and paid him a friendly visit.
Allegedly.
I think he got
Allegedly.
a few
Yeah.
pairs back.
I think he might have got them all back.
I had when we was moving in, I had stuff stolen from my just the front door because I was just moving in and I was in for 10 minutes, legit, just 10. And I left a bag outside, and it was like a vintage bag, or vintage, should I say? And I come out, and it's gone. And I was like, I lost my mind, and I went driving to fight. I would have probably got beat up. I'm not
Nothing to
saying-
do with trainers. This he had some lights on it, and
Yeah.
It
that
was.
stolen.
They were like what were they called? These LEDs that like lit up.
They're
called
nice lights to be fair.
nano leafs.
Yeah.
And they were worth like about 200 quid, and I just lost it. So I can understand him going around.
Yeah.
If he did.
Oh yeah.
I
knew
would
it
have.
well.
I'm not saying I would have got out and beat him up. They probably would have beaten me up. But I was like fuming,
principle,
driving
innit?
around.
Yeah,
I think the
fuming,
difference-
Literally
with-
10 minutes. I was just going gone for 10 minutes, and it's just somebody just had a look.
Someone
Had
with
a
a chance.
look.
Oh, that's
took it.
opportunism, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's like the main.
Yeah,
I'm an
motherfuckers, man.
absolute fiend for collecting stuff, by the way. So
I thought you was about to say I'm an absolute fiend for stealing.
for
stuff like
nicking. I've got
Can't
some.
stop
I've
it.
got some nano leafs for sale if you're interested. But
that. Wait a minute.
but I'm a fiend for collecting stuff, and I could see like it's not just that when it gets nicked, it's not just the fact that your home's been invaded, your privacy's been. It's all of the. It's the memories of when you've collected the certain stuff.
Yeah.
Like when you got those records, when you got those. For me, it's records. When you
Records,
got
yeah.
them.
Do you remember a few years ago they were coding all the key fobs for all the BMs and V-dubs? So I
Yeah.
had my work van done 3 times.
Oh, you
Like 3 or
bastard,
4
man.
grand a time.
You
3
bastard.
times, yeah.
Like
And
that's
pe-
on your gas
Jesus.
engineering. So that's all
and
your
people
tools.
are like,
and
why
everything.
didn't you empty your stuff out? I mean,
At the end of the day, you're fucked.
Any
Like,
of the
leave me
lads out
alone.
there, tradesmen, the last thing you do when you get home after 12 hours is tackle out your van.
Yeah.
Just don't do it.
Yeah.
Um,
So we've got another pair of trainers here, haven't we? Let's have a
Another
look
pair.
at
When I was
these.
a bit of a tangent.
these are Run DMC.
Holy fucking
Superstars.
hell, you bastard.
They are the ones that she.
I think these are the ones
These
that,
are the dead man shoes.
Yeah.
bless him, he did wear.
he had these on his coffin as he was going down.
So
I
is he
think.
like a hip hop head, this
He
guy?
must have been, but
Yeah,
the rest of his
Yeah,
stuff's
can I
pretty,
let me have a
Yeah.
pretty
gander at
casual.
those?
So they're quite a limited trainer.
He's
What's,
kind of
what's
old
the
school as
rarest?
well.
What's the rarest shit you guys have seen?
Trainer
and-
wise.
and sold, maybe. Well, it can be either. Let's go trainers and then clothing.
Yeah.
Well,
Go on.
I know we've got a friend who's much more urban than us, and I think he sold a pair of Nikes for about $8,000, didn't he?
Yeah.
Eight
mate,
grand.
We haven't
yeah.
quite. I don't know what they
Holy
were.
I think the most collectible ones. You remember, obviously, Back to the Future, the film.
Give them a sniff, mate.
You know, Back to the Future.
I have,
don't
I
you?
have, yeah. Yeah, Back to the Future. You
Yeah.
on about this self-tying?
They actually released them properly,
I did see those, yeah.
and
Holy shit.
How much they
in
go?
very limited numbers. And I think all the hip hop stars and the music stars got them.
They will,
They might
yeah.
50, 60,000.
Yeah. To be fair, I'm like into NBA, and they always so there's been some ridiculous
think-
NBA like trainers in
Oh,
history.
massively,
Like,
massive.
and they've
I mean,
some that
the
they even wear.
Jordans initially.
Jordans, yeah.
Jordans.
There's
If
a
you ever watch
fucking-
the
there's
Jordan
a- there's
story,
a-
that's great. As
There's
well.
a
The Jordan market's now mental.
there's a full-on
Mental.
hour-long film about
It's great. I
coining
loved
the
it.
Air Jordan,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, it's a great film. Air, right?
I think one
Yes,
of
it
the.
was called a. Yeah.
Do you know how close Michael Jordan was signing a contract for Adidas before he signed for Nike?
Yeah, it's
He was so close.
So close, yeah.
Adidas had designed a basketball boot for him. And he wore them, sampled them.
yeah,
And they were about to sign, and his manager said, "Don't go out to sign anything yet. Nike want to see us tomorrow."
yeah.
and they presented the Air Jordan. And
At
the rest is history.
At the time as well, Nike were kind of shit, right?
Yeah.
They weren't like who they are.
No.
They weren't who they are
Adidas
today.
believed all the basketballs were wearing Adidas then.
Yeah.
But then that's when it all changed for
There
Nike.
was another one that was competing. Was it New Balance? They were
New
actually
Balance.
There
back in the
there was
day.
another one. There's a documentary on them on Netflix that was as big as the other two, but just disappeared into thin air.
Yeah,
Sure, you told me to
completely gone.
watch it.
Yes.
Diodora.
No, it wasn't.
Reebok Classic. No, but that
it
came
was
in when
it was a name that you wouldn't just bring to your mind, but there's a whole documentary on how it came in and it was a real rival and it was all to do with basketball. Can't
Yeah.
remember. I watched it,
Yeah.
but
It's crazy how big, like, I mean, Adidas have had such longevity. And I feel like, I don't know, like, I love my Adidas trainers, and I feel like the new generation or the younger generation is still wearing Adidas now, because I suppose, like, the Yeezys and the Boost sort of generation
Yeah,
of
the
trainers.
Boost, yeah. That's
have
only
been
come
a
in the
big
last
thing.
10, 15 years, aren't the Boost
Yeah.
sole, really, which my favourite, running trainers for gym, the Boost soles are amazing.
Yeah, man.
Oh, so comfy.
I think the most expensive pair of trainers we've sold was about $575, and it was those.
Dope.
Was it colognes that we sold for Pete O'Toole's?
They were one of so many made.
So, we've done a collab with Pete O'Toole.
Yeah.
He's worked for Adidas, Umbro, big in sort of the.
That's sick.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
really
yeah.
good. And his business partner, I think they both got issued with a pair.
They've been to an
But
Adidas night.
He'd been to an Adidas night in Germany,
in Cologne.
got the shoes,
Yeah.
came with all this paraphernalia that you only got on the night.
It was for
Whoa.
the launch of the Adidas Cologne in
Yeah.
Cologne,
Yeah.
and only the designers got a
Only,
pair.
yeah. So that's
It was
rare.
never
That's
released-
rare as fuck.
It was
Yeah.
never released to
Yeah,
the
yeah,
general
that's all right.
public, and he wanted us to sell them, so
Yeah,
we did.
so I think that's the best we've got for a
A
pair of
pair,
sort of
yeah.
casual
Yeah.
Adidas trainers.
And then, like, clothing wise and stuff, like, how do you guys, obviously you know clothing, you've been around stuff a lot, like, how are you grading stuff, and how do you know when you see like a real rare piece? Is it something that you
Skill
know
you
it,
probably
or
developed over time, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, you obviously get your stuff
You
new
get
with
an
tags.
eye.
Is brand new in it. You can't
Yeah,
argue with
yeah.
new with tags. And then if something's worn once, to me that's mint.
yeah,
If you're going for a grading system, 10 new, 9 mint, 8,
Yeah.
and then all that.
It's very much, you can apply the same rules to everything in life. It's very strange, like with bands and stuff. Culturally, people gather together towards certain brands. So bands, for example, Oasis, you
Yeah.
know, U2.
Yeah.
It's the same with clothes. And that, personally, I would say the most popular one of people banding together with our demographic is Stone Island.
For the casuals.
right. Get the badge in, lads.
Get the badge in.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
become a
yeah.
saying in
Now-
itself, hasn't it now?
Yeah,
It'll
yeah.
be interesting to see what happens over the next couple of years, because over the last 6 months, all of a sudden Stone Island's just exploded.
Yeah, yeah.
And all the numpties and waifs and strafes are wearing them.
Yeah, yeah.
And they're wearing fakes as well.
Yeah, yeah.
Which to me devalues the brand.
Well, it was
a
the same
little
with
bit.
Burberry in the early
Same with
2000s, right? I remember that
What-
very.
what-
I remember that very well.
What you have-
caps and
Yeah, yeah.
scarves and
What you have got with Stone Island, though, is you've got this heritage. You've got these jackets
Collectors,
and
massive
clothes
collectors.
Yeah,
from
yeah.
the 80s and 90s
Yeah,
that were so well made.
yeah. They're still going now.
Yeah,
yeah,
when
yeah,
you
yeah.
compare a Stone Island jacket in the 80s or 90s made to ones now, there's
Next
no
level.
comparison.
Next
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
It's
in
still
quality.
quality gear.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
but the
Where-
materials what we were using then.
When we're talking like manufacturing and stuff, like it's getting a bit like nerdy because I do love clothes and that.
Yeah.
My missus works in fashion and she works for a knitwear company in Manchester, but they're rare in the fact that a lot of their stuff is produced. They've got a factory where they make the stuff in Manchester.
Yeah, yeah.
Like their
Made in
knitwear's
England.
made in England.
I mean-
so that when the stuff's made in England now, compared to being made in, I know Fred Perry make a lot of stuff in Portugal, in
Portugal's usually
Pakistan,
good.
Portugal and
India.
Italy's usually good.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, Portugal's usually good.
Good materials in Portugal. Italy.
So-
Italians love the clothes anyway.
So these
don't
old Stone Island jackets, where were they made,
Italy,
manufactured?
Italy, yeah.
Italy,
Yeah,
yeah.
Is it, and it's an Italian brand.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I actually never knew that.
Yeah,
they? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
CP, Neiman.
Yeah.
There's I think they're American. I should know this, but there's a brand called Volleybach.
Yeah.
Have you come across those
No,
guys?
no,
And they're
no, no.
making their like USP is they make indestructible clothes, and like they've got
Wow.
a hoodie and they call it 100-year hoodie, and
Wow. Okay.
and the gear is quality when you get it.
Yeah.
It's real quality, and the gear's like fireproof and
Wow,
quite an interesting brand. Yeah, really
Yeah,
interesting. But I mean, you're $300 or $400 for a jumper
Yeah.
all day long.
Yeah. But then that's the thing, isn't it? When you buy it,
Yeah.
you're wearing it for a long
And
time.
it's a resale value as well.
I mean,
Yeah.
if you really, that's
I think that with
interesting
clothes
point.
a lot of the time.
This is one about certain brands hold a value and certain brands don't hold a
Yeah,
value.
yeah.
It's like you'll buy a car and drive a forecourt, 10 grand's gone straight away, innit?
Yeah,
I love Paul Smith. I love Paul Smith. I've
Yeah.
got a wardrobe full of it.
yeah.
It doesn't hold its value.
No.
So you spend 300 quid on a coat, and then you'd be lucky to get 50, 100 quid for
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Whereas if you buy if you buy a Stone Island, you're probably going
Tends
to
to
keep
hold its value,
You're going to
doesn't
keep, you know,
yeah,
3/4 of its value.
yeah,
But the quality of clothing is another something that fascinates me. Like we'll walk in a clothes shop and I'm like, look at this shite. The worst for it is all the we're going a lot of football. You know the shops in football.
shops, club
My
shops.
God,
yeah.
what
club
are they
shops.
selling?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's
Like
garbage.
the new football shirts for like this season
they're
and
awful.
stuff.
It's like
yeah.
Blackpool
They're
Seafront
awful.
in some of these football
What
shops.
is it
Yeah,
about
yeah.
them? Is it the material?
Shite, yeah,
Really?
badly
Stitching, the
made, bad
material.
stitching,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
material.
What's an average football shirt? If I went to Sheffield, in
Sheffield
now,
Sheffield United's shirt
what's
is
their
about
shirt cost now?
50 quid, I reckon.
50 quid.
50
And
quid.
Who makes their shirts now?
I want to say
Castor or something.
Araya.
Araya, which is usually all right, but
It was Adidas before.
we
When it was Adidas, they were slapping. To be fair,
yeah.
There's a
But then
few-
I feel like you get a few good seasons with Adidas where they do like the design's sick, and then towards
drops
the
off a
end
bit.
They just
they
give
just
up.
drop off. They can't be
Yeah.
arsed
It's a
anymore.
really interesting one with quality because you've a lot of things going on. You've got brands now. Let's take Adidas for example. You've got your whole range of high-end stuff that they do,
Yeah.
which is quality.
Yeah.
And then you've got this kind of mid-range stuff, and then you've got the absolute garbage that they put in
a
sports
lot
soccer.
of brands
Yeah,
are doing
yeah.
and
this
they're
now.
all copying this. And then there's one brand that I bark on about all the time that kind of flirts a bit with the football world. Fall
Right.
Raven.
Yeah, yeah,
Fjallraven,
yeah,
if you wanna say
whatever.
it's
Yeah,
Swedish.
is
But
that how
it-
you say it?
But what I will say about Fjallraven is
Yeah.
all their gear's quality.
Yes, yeah.
Because
I've got a coat by them, to be fair, and it is windproof to fuck.
it's unbelievable.
great.
Because the
an
gear that
outdoor
you're
brand, isn't it?
buying, they haven't done that thing yet where they're making shite for mass commercialism.
Yeah.
So if you're buying a coat to wear on a hill in the Lake District, that's
Yeah.
what you're getting.
Yeah, yeah.
Whereas with a lot of the brands, Adidas, Umbro, all of them,
Yeah.
there's that lower range of stuff that is literally just so you can go to school and say,
Got the badge
oh,
in.
I've got Adidas on.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
So it's interesting. Fall Raven, I
Yeah,
call
yeah,
it.
yeah.
It
That's fine, call
really
it, yeah.
sticks out in my head as a quality brand.
There
It's
was
just-
the first thing that I became aware of them was loads of hipster girlies who were wearing like the backpacks.
Yeah.
So I think
Then you saw a lot of fakes coming on Vinted for a tenner, didn't you? Thought that's not the real one.
In it, yeah.
Yeah.
But I've been a sucker for buying some fakes. So back in the day, when the Yeezys were released, the first ones, I bought a pair for around market value.
Yeah.
And when I got them, I was like, they're defo not real, but they're
Could
a
tell.
good fake.
Good copy.
They're a good copy.
There's copies
But-
and there's good copies.
They were a good copy, but then I was also like, when I was wearing them, I was like, it ain't right. It don't feel
That's
right.
it. Well, let's for example, you said about football shirts then,
Yeah.
and especially the kids' kits now. If I go to Old
Hey.
Trafford now, a full kids' kit, shirt, shorts, socks,
Yeah.
you're looking at 150 quid.
Yeah, it's wild, isn't it?
And
But
you
this
get-
is why
If you
people are into these retro
Yes,
kits now.
Absolutely.
25 quid.
25 quid.
25
What,
quid.
You sorted your lad out, didn't we? Shirt, socks,
Yeah.
in summer. 25
I
quid.
took my lad to the new camp and we were in the shop getting absolutely butt.
Yeah.
And then I said, come on, there's a shop across the road. Went in there, 25 quid, full kit.
Yeah.
He was 8-year-old. He'll be growing out of it in
Yeah, that's it.
half an hour.
Yeah.
The letters are falling off it now. He's still wearing it. He looks
I-
like the Incredible Hulk, but you're getting your 25 quid's worth out of that, Barnes, I'm telling you.
I've decided I'm going to let my lad pick whichever team he wants to support. I'm a Sheffield United fan, very casually, but I went on Vinted the other day to look at some bits, and they just very cleverly mined me 2 to 3 Sheffield United kit, 4 quid. And I was like, yeah, go on, I'll get him that. So I've stuffed him in it, and it's one of them. He's like got a bit of a
How
belly
old
on
is
him. He's nearly 2, so he's got a little bit of a belly on him, and he's like, walking around in it. And my missus came downstairs and like about 10 o'clock or whatever, and like saw him walking around in a football kit. And I've been up since like 6 o'clock, and he's been wearing it around the house, and he looks great. But I mean, it's third hand maybe, but yeah, it fits in it.
get a few
But the
wears out of
quality
it.
of it is so, like you were saying, it's so bad. But what I find so interesting now with the big market of retro shirts, because the quality is probably better, the designs are cooler, like there was a bit more to them back in the day. They've now started remaking
Reissues,
the old,
yes.
the reissues.
The reissue.
But is the quality of them?
That Newcastle one you got the other day.
To be fair, yeah, Newcastle 90s, as we all started with Shearer talk.
New 95, 96.
95, 96.
That was a
remember,
shirt.
Remember Aspria?
Oh, man, yeah.
Tino Aspria.
What a fucking
Came
player.
from Columbia to Newcastle.
It's a thing of beauty, that shirt with the granddad collar.
Lovely, yeah.
So
Yeah,
nice.
Adidas designed some great kits in 90s and 80s.
That
But Newcastle recently re-released that shirt, and I thought, I'm having that. Even though I'm a
Yeah.
United fan, I can appreciate a good shirt.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's it's
you
a
know what I mean?
legendary
Do
kit.
you know
man.
what? That's
Yeah.
one thing as well. I buy football shirts, and I'm not like a big football fan, but
Yeah.
I love the fashion of football
designs,
shirts.
Yes.
The designs, they're so cool. I bought that pink Boston United one. We all did, didn't we?
Because we're from Boston, we've got
Yeah.
some Boston United shirts, and
The
they-
pink one, I was like,
yeah,
yeah, I
yeah.
like
the-
that.
Boston in recent years have sort of, I think they've put a bit more stock into their kit. They've had like Adidas shirts and
Yes.
stuff, and some of the designs have been sick. The colours have been good,
Yeah.
and we've got these pink Boston United away shirts, and yeah, they're great. But
I did a video, and I do it every year for a client. 3 years on the trot now. Shirts versus boots, and they're like collectors of shirts and boots. And every year they have a match, and I go down and I consult a little bit. Then I edit their thing together for YouTube, where they have like a football match, and they bring their shirts, they bring their boots, and they all have they sell each other stuff. And it's wicked to see. Like I go there, and I found out about a football shirt I didn't even know, which was like a Nintendo sponsored. I don't remember what team it
Fiorentina?
was. It could be Fiorentina.
Purple.
Because I'm a geek, yeah. And I was
Yeah,
like, oh,
Fiorentina.
I was like, that's just
definitely-
Nintendo on it.
That's definitely Fiorentina.
You'd be
Yeah.
really interested to watch some of the. We do some stuff with Pete O'Toole. I mean, it's way out of my
He's a
league.
collector,
Yeah, yeah.
And him and George start barking on about these football shirts they've got. Honestly, it's so interesting. There's
Yeah.
Yeah.
2 reels up on our feed.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, we'll
Yeah.
dig back through all your stuff. Yeah,
All the crazy designs in the 80s and 90s were brilliant, but they stopped in 2000 because the FA banned it all. They banned
is that,
crazy.
is that why?
Yes.
Is that why it's happened?
Yes.
Why? So why was
Wow, I
it? Why
didn't
was it
know
banned
that.
then?
Right, because what did Pete told me this? What did he say now? It was like for example, the classic Man United shirt of '96 had Old Trafford imprinted in it. Remember
Love that one.
Yeah,
Love that
Cat
shirt.
now with the collar up.
Yeah,
And it had the stadium inside it.
yeah,
Umbro were the designers then.
yeah.
And they had more like they had more like to do what they want to do.
Yeah.
And then they present it to the club at the start of the season.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, yeah, we like that. But then the FA stepped in early 2000s.
Right.
They said they were getting a bit too out of control with the designs, and it was for the referee or something. I don't know.
Dazzling or
It's
something.
hard
Yeah,
for the
yeah,
referee to see that
no,
shirt.
yeah,
It's too
but-
bright.
Remember they started putting numbers on the shorts? Remember put shorts numbers
Yeah.
on the front of the shorts?
Yeah, yeah.
It never used to be on the shorts until mid 2000s. The number.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, you'll have to delve into it and have a look. Google why.
It's the same in the NBA when you heard that
Designs-
story of Jordan. They couldn't have. I think you can have any more than 3 colours on your shoes or something.
Yeah, it was
And
something
else
like
you
that.
get else you get fined.
Yeah, it was something.
And
Yeah,
it's fucking-
Jordan's. I think it was Nike that said, "We don't care. We're going to pay the fine.
Yeah.
But you wear it anyway," which
Yeah,
is like
yeah.
a fuck you move.
yeah.
I think
yeah.
it was like, can't remember how many, like thousands of dollars it was every game he wore them. It was like something like 2,000.
But
But then
you
how
what,
many
I bet-
shoes they
I bet they
sell?
sold out of
Yeah,
them
yeah,
shoes.
yeah.
Every time, yeah.
Great
And in the
Brandons.
end, NBA went, sod it. Yeah, what are we doing? This is
But, like,
ridiculous. Let them have
Yeah,
it.
This is
Like,
why we get better kits in like Africa now, like the Jamaican kits and Cameroon.
Mate, that
Mexico.
Cameroon
Mexico.
kit, man, fuck, it's so good.
Sick.
Mexico.
Because their FA don't give a shit. Fucking design whatever you want to design. That's why you get better kits over there.
I've got a Mexican t-shirt. I should have worn that today, like a Mexican.
Mexico always have a good one.
Yeah.
Jamaica
Yeah.
always have a good one.
I've
Japan.
got all those shirts are sick. Man.
We've got you a couple of. I've told you this already. But we've got you a couple of Green Attic shirts
Oh,
that are
yes,
designed.
mate.
which
Yeah,
Pete
yeah,
O-
yeah, yeah.
They are designed by Pete O'Toole.
Mate, fucking
Wow.
sick, man.
Brought
We'll get
me.
a picture with them at the
Yeah,
end.
yeah.
That'll be so
we'll get
good.
pictures after.
Hopefully,
I
they
got-
fit. Hopefully.
I got that. Did you what? I mean, you know the World Cup that was in sort of Saudi Arabia. Was it?
That's
Dubai?
another subject as well. The
So I
Dubai
got,
and the Saudis
The
buying
last
everything
World
up.
Cup. Yeah,
It was like 20. It was the one in the winter. It was winter of 22. Yeah, yeah.
I've lost my bloody. Well, yeah, last World. It was Russia. Then it was
Is it
Come on, it's like master.
Qatar?
Qatar. Yeah,
Qatar. There you go.
Qatar, yeah.
So it was in Qatar. Belgium.
Belgium.
Their kit in that was unreal. I've got
Yeah,
the. I've
remind
got
me
the
which
kit.
one that
It's
was.
like multi. It's like multicolours. It's like
all different multicolours.
Yeah, yeah.
But like camo.
So the interesting one with this, which made me really smile, I don't know if this is exactly what they've done, but this is what I think they've done. So it's a collaboration with the festival Tomorrowland,
Yeah.
and they've gone. It's like a rainbow kit, but they've basically worn like a
Yeah.
pride flag as their kit.
Didn't it cause
whilst
a bit
they're out
didn't
in
it cause
Qatar.
it caused a bit of uproar, didn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah. But I mean,
Oh,
I
yeah,
think
I
the
remember
the
this.
main kit that they wore was just white with like a colourful trim, but
Yeah.
then their away kit or like the second
Yeah,
kit or whatever
yeah.
it is was, I mean, it's all the way,
Yeah.
innit? But it was this full on like rainbow,
I know what you
rainbow
mean.
I think
flag.
I know which shirt you mean.
And I bought one of them because I was like, I saw some guy who he's more of a collector than like a seller.
Yeah,
But he
yeah.
sells a few bits, and he collected the whole like tracky kit, and I was like, that shirt is banging, and managed to pick one up for like pretty cheap, and it's
Was
it's
that
great.
Adidas or Belgium?
It's an Adidas, yeah, it's Adidas, yeah,
I got
yeah.
Japan one in that one. Then like
Yeah, you
Japan,
did.
yeah.
Oh man,
They have a bit more on the away kits. They can design a bit more funkier than the home shirts. That's why your away shirts tend to be a bit more out there.
yeah.
Yeah, there's some Japanese ones I saw.
Japan
Oh,
ones
they're
are
beautiful,
class.
aren't they?
They're like they've got some
So
Gundam
dope.
wing one, like a robot. I was like, oh my god! As a
Yeah.
massive geek,
Great
I was
designs.
like, that's
Great
fire.
design,
Well,
yeah.
I love the combination of like the sports with the kind of like gaming kind of culture, which is really cool for me.
Yeah.
Man,
Yeah.
that Peter O'Toole sounds like such an interesting
Oh,
guy,
he's
man. I'm
super
looking forward
cool.
to.
Super
Yeah,
cool.
top guy.
Might be worth trying to get on if you can get him
Yeah,
on.
if you-
Mate, yeah,
It would
well,
be
if you
a great
guys
guy.
put in a
We'll
good
drop him a
word for us, for
message.
sure,
Yeah,
like that'd be great.
Give him a follow. I'm sure he'll come on.
Yeah, no shit. I don't want to miss out on all the stuff you've brought in because you've brought in other stuff as well. So not
talk
only
about-
it's not only fashion, you guys do music. So you've got an album out
So
with your band,
Yeah, we're actually.
Yeah,
on
what's your band called?
so we're
Let's-
called Bravado Cartel.
Bravado Cartel.
Before that, we were Red Star.
Okay.
So we were Red Star for roughly, I'm going to make this up, but 10 years.
Yeah.
And then in 2013,
Yeah.
we got signed up by a guy that was a publicist for John Lennon.
Nice. Okay.
Sounds like absolute BS, but it was true.
No, yeah, it sounds
Um,
like a dream to me.
And he was like, hey, man, I'm bringing you over to the US. We're going to start the second invasion, the Brit invasion. You guys
Cool.
are heading it. So, to cut a long story short, we've gone off the record, but I'll tell you now.
No, keep going. Yeah.
So, basically, I got it in my head that we'd fucking made it
That's
at that
it.
point. But
Yeah, yeah.
anyway, that was just my little
But
kind
you're on,
Yeah.
so you're on the plane. You're on the way over to the
So
US. You're working with John Lennon's publicist.
By the way,
Publicist.
what do you do in the band? We
Sing,
haven't-
singer.
You sing. So you're the
Singer.
lead singer.
Yeah,
There you
yeah,
go,
yeah.
lead vocalist. Cool.
So, anyway, I'll try and cut the story short, but I got on the plane. I went on my own initially to meet him.
Yeah.
Bruce Ripogle, please.
Where were you flying to in the US?
Boston.
Cool. Boston.
So please feel free to check this story out. Everything is 100% true. I got to Boston. Obviously, I had long hair at the time, so every single customs stopped me at every single point because he thought I was some sort of druggie or whatever. And the final one, the American guy, he says, what are you doing here, man? I was like, well, I've come to meet a guy who signed my band up. And he went, so you've come to meet an old man you met on the internet. I was like, yeah. Yeah, that's it. Anyway, I got through.
Yeah.
Now, at this time, I didn't know this fact, but Bruce was a full-blown alkie.
Right.
And he had been who he said he was within the music industry. He'd worked with all sorts of people in Boston, Aerosmith,
Yeah.
all these people in the 80s that were big. So I'm at Boston Airport after I don't know how long the flight was, 7-8 hour flight, but a 12-13 hour day by the time you've done all the other stuff.
Yeah.
And he just didn't turn up.
Oh, you bastard.
So I've like been on the phone with him, done all these Zoom calls. I'm Boston Air. I'm like, where's Bruce, man? Didn't turn up. Rang him. Hey, man, yeah, I'm not going to be able to get you. His house was an hour and a half from Boston Airport.
Fucking hell.
So basically, I hired a car, didn't have any data on my phone, went to the car hire place, got the woman behind to print all the like text feed off the
Yeah,
sat-nav
yeah,
shit,
yeah. Oh,
turn
my
left
God.
at, Morrissey Boulevard or whatever. So then I spent nearly 3 hours following these instructions to find his house.
Wait, when was this?
So this was 2015, I want to say.
About 10 years
2015.
ago.
'Cause
Yeah.
I was sat there thinking sat navs. Like, how are we not Google Maps?
But I didn't have any data on
You
my
didn't have
phone.
any data.
Oh, you didn't have any
I
data
didn't
on your
have,
phone?
because
Fair
I
play,
was
Mr.
landed in
Barber.
America and obviously,
Shit. Okay,
So-
yeah.
and I think they wanted something like $150 for the sat nav with the
my
hire
God.
car that I didn't think I was hiring.
Bastard.
Fair play.
Oh,
So
you
there we go.
bastard.
I got to where did I get to? Oh yeah, I'm not going to be able to pick you up. So I got to this Wheelwright farm, it was called. I'll never forget it. And as I pulled up to it, it was like an old farm that had been turned into sort of 6 or 7 luxury buildings on the old plot. It was
Right.
very, very nice.
Yeah.
Drove up into it, big house, 5-bedroom. You've seen that kind of house.
Yeah,
on the
yeah,
telly
yeah.
in
America. Yeah.
And like all the gardens, there were these freaking wild turkeys. You know those wild turkeys you've seen on
Fuck
Family
yeah,
Guy?
yeah,
that
yeah.
are fucking huge.
Fight you.
And I'm thinking, can I get out of the car?
Yeah.
Anyway, cut a long story short, knocked on his door. He opened the door and he's like, well, you made it, man. And I'm like, fucking fucking fuming, but thinking,
yeah, it is, yeah.
But at the same time, this
No
is the
thanks
guy
to
that's
you.
going to hand me a gift of a career in music. And then it started unfolding because earlier on in life, I've had a bit of experience with alcoholism, so I
Yeah.
know what it's like. And he was just basically battered. He was just absolutely hammered.
shit.
You picked up on it straight.
Dog
Okay,
in the house that doesn't leave the house. So this huge fancy house that this career's bought him back in the day that's now just an absolute pigsty. And I just thought, fuck, but I was knackered. So I went in, avoided the piles of dog poo.
Oh yeah.
God.
Wow.
Yeah, it was pretty full on. For some reason, I stayed there the whole week. Like I think
But
I
you
was
would
just-
if you'd flown to Boston. To be honest,
Yeah.
I think I would be there out of spite.
He didn't do anything he said he was going to do. He didn't organise any gigs. He didn't have this tour planned. He was just in total cloud cuckoo land.
Wow.
Yeah,
His
proper,
whole website was great, though. It was Music Management USA was the actual title of his website.
Yeah.
So you can imagine, you see something like that, especially in America, you think, bloody hell,
He's got it
legit, this
together.
guy.
He's sorted. Yeah.
Gold records on the wall or whatever, all kind of stuff that proved that he was who he said he was.
Yeah.
Like 30 years previously.
Yeah. If you'd gone 30 years before, it would have been a different
it would have
story
been,
for
yeah.
Red Star.
And he'd sit
Yeah.
on the phone on a night and like young lads and young girls would be ringing him up from England and he'd have them on loudspeaker and he'd be drilling them on what they should and shouldn't be doing. I'm thinking, Bruce, man, you are full of shit.
Your house is full of shit.
And your house is full of shit and your house is fucking stunning. Anyway, like being the kind of guy I am, I was like, fuck this. I'm going to get in the hire car and I'm going to go and organise this tour for the lads. And I drove all around Boston. I can't remember the music venue names now. I want to say Paramount, but it's not Paramount.
Hey,
I
big
just
up, that's
drove all
active.
round, knocking on doors. Can we have a gig? Can we have a gig? And I got a few, yes, of course you can if you come. Now, obviously, this was 6 months later when I was coming back with the band.
Yeah.
6 months later, I came back with the band. Bruce was nowhere to be seen.
Yeah.
Not even
He's
answering the
fucked
phone.
off. He's out.
Just
Out the.
knows that I've seen through
Just
him.
inebriated somewhere.
And we are sat in Dirty Nelly's, the coolest bar in Boston. We sat there. I'll try and cut this short because I'll be here all night telling this tale.
It's class.
Sat there in Dirty Nelly's, moaning to the barman about the story that I've just told you. And he's like, hey, he said, I know the guy that puts up this American accent. It's the same for every person, have you noticed?
Yeah.
Because I know the guy that puts us up,
keep doing it.
fills all the rock calves
Yeah.
up and down the East Coast. I'll put you in touch. Next thing I know, we're playing Rock Calf Boston, Providence, Rhode Island, and then like the creme de menthe, Rodney, was Hard Rock Cafe in Foxwoods Casino Resort. I don't know if you've ever heard of it.
Sick.
I've
okay.
heard of Hard Rock Cafe, but obviously not.
Yeah,
as
I know.
Foxwoods.
So
how- yeah.
Foxwoods is what the Americans have given to the native Indians as compensation for, like,
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
sorry for
yeah,
taking your
we're
land.
We're sorry.
but it's just like another. I mean, the casino in there is like the size of a football pitch. It's next level, and we played in there in the Rock Cafe, and then we
Dope.
went on to go back a further 3 times. So 3 times in total with the band and once on my own. And
Good
it was
on
just,
you for knocking, mate. And
Mate,
just
that's
going,
it.
Fuck it.
Did you know what? You asked the question. You went, you did it, and you went, oh, do you know what? This guy's a dead end. I'm going to go do it myself. You made it happen.
Well,
so that was when you were Red Star.
That was well, we changed to Bravado Cartel because Bruce said to me, "You can't come to America as a communist." Red Star.
Yes, right, okay.
And
Wait,
George,
what's Red Star? Like, what's the history?
it's a
there,
Russian
though?
sign, isn't it? Communism.
Ah, got it right.
So-
So I was going to be
So
like,
that
I was going to be
Belgrade,
like,
the
have you
football
been subpoenaed by
No.
Putin or something to
Red,
make a change?
Red Star
but-
was just literally one of the lads had a T-shirt on.
Yeah.
I will call ourselves.
So I'm guessing your music's on YouTube
Sorry.
and stuff. Bravado Cartel.
Yeah,
Bravado
If you guys-
Cartel.
Spotify. So George will testify for this. I mean, I was just head down arse up for 15 years.
Yeah,
There was nothing else in my life I was going to be other than a rock star.
Yeah.
I had no other. It's been a bit of a tough thing, like it not happening. Do you know what I mean?
Mate,
Which
of
I've gone
course.
through the last
the
4 years.
realization of the end not being quite what you envisaged.
Yeah, exactly.
We can
Is-
relate. Yeah.
Yeah,
Sure.
we've,
So-
we've had that
We've
multiple
had that
times in
multiple
our
times.
lives.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we've just started a podcast. Have you? you guys, you just think about it. All fail rock stars start podcasts.
So that's what we've got out. It's just come out this week. There's vinyl. There's only about 100 of these, and that's it. That's all we're doing.
size
But,
sevens, immaculate inbox, brand new with tags.
with
Oh, yeah.
tags. But
Check
yeah,
out
all the
the,
artwork I did myself. It's an old football table I found in Corfu.
That's
Believe
a
it or not.
beauty.
Sick, man. I
Down
like
an
it a lot.
alleyway. Oh yeah,
Splatter vinyl.
splatter
Oh,
vinyl.
look at that.
Check it out.
Beautiful stuff, mate.
Have you
Beautiful
guys
stuff.
got a vinyl player?
Yeah, I DJ vinyl. Yeah, do you know what? I'll buy
I
a copy
actually
off.
do
I'll
have
buy-
a-
That's
No,
for
vinyl
you
player.
guys.
No,
Oh, bless.
we'll be buying that off you. Don't you
Guys.
worry. I pay for my music. That's one for the tax man. I pay for my music. Thank you very much. And this isn't the only bit of music you brought with you. You've also brought something pretty
we've got
special.
a bit of
Because
a-
you guys do some collectible stuff as well through
Yeah.
your site, right?
We do,
And
yeah.
where can people find you on the internet if they're looking for you? It's
The website is called
Green-Attic.com.
green-attic.com.
But if you just type
green-attic.com.
Green Attic in, we
It'll
come
come
up.
up on Google.
Yeah,
and
if you
that,
search them on socials, you're just Green Attic, aren't
Green
you?
Attic,
And you've,
Insta, Facebook, TikTok.
you've got Green Attic members as well. Is that for people to buy
Yeah,
from you kind
That's
of
just a
thing?
bit of a backup page
Right,
that I started.
right,
Yeah,
sound.
so that was right at the beginning, but it's still live. But the main one is Green Attic.
Yeah, so get them followed, guys, and check
Yeah.
out the website if
Green
you
Attic,
if you like what you've heard about today. And
Facebook, TikTok, etc.
yeah,
on the
mate,
platform.
absolutely.
Yeah, we sell music memorabilia, sports memorabilia, boxing, football, rugby.
Yeah. It all seems to be from that sort of it all ties in though, doesn't it? Do you know what I mean? With the casual sort of
Yeah.
theme and the 90s theme, the fashion and all
It
that
all goes hand in
terrace
hand.
wear and
The
stuff.
football, the music, the fashion. It's like, yeah, all three things tend to go.
Yeah.
If you're into one thing, you tend to be into the other. Or,
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, today we brought this one. This is a signed Noel Gallagher guitar, which is dedicated to my daughter, which I got signed.
Oh, beautiful,
It
man.
says, "Yes, Lila, big love, Noel Gallagher."
Is she named? Is
It's
she
an
named
episode.
She's
after
named after the
the?
song. Yes,
Na-
Lila.
hey, Lila.
Yeah, so- and there's-
Nice.
Proof of him signing it on the back.
Oh, that's class.
that's
Come on,
amazing.
man.
So
So did you met Noel?
I've met Noel a few times.
Yeah.
But, this one was done by a friend who was a sound checker. He got the guitar and got him to sign it.
Nice,
Which is nice. So
okay.
this hangs proudly on my wall at home.
That's beautiful, man.
with
Yeah,
a few of the
take care
signed
of that
bits.
one.
Noel, Liam, and Canton are my main three idols as a
Yeah.
child, which met Liam and Noel, and I think I'm due to meet Eric in February because I think we're doing a bit of a night with him in Manchester.
Man, that's class.
Hopefully,
Come
yeah.
on.
Hopefully,
So
yeah.
where-
So this
whereabouts-
job has opened up doors to meet some
Massively,
new heroes
yeah.
as well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's
Met
really
some-
cool.
Yeah,
Did you think that when you first started
Absolutely.
picking out bits in a charity shop? Oh, do you know what? One day
That's
this
crazy
is going to lead to
think.
me.
Well,
sort of,
I said just sat one day sat next to your heroes in a bar, like
Our
fuck have I got
our
here?
last two Christmas do's have heavily involved Miles Kane. And the last one, we were actually in the after party with him, weren't we?
Yeah,
Which
um,
I like
Amazing.
a bit
That
of
was
Miles.
good.
Yeah, I like
Miles
a bit of
Kane.
Miles. It's a bit of a tradition now. We might have to do it next year as well.
I love how you're having Christmas. Is it just the two of you together?
Yeah, was actually worked
Christmas
Christmas
do.
doing it right. Where should we go this year? Was London? Was
We-
invited down to London by Fenners.
We like very similar things. We like
Yeah.
shitty old men's Yorkshire pubs.
Oh yes,
like,
man.
We've
The dirty,
seen, we've
pub.
seen one down here on the left. Have you been in it?
What's
Which
it
one?
called?
The railway.
Really, really rough one. Just down here on the
Cricketers.
left.
Cricketers.
Cricketers is
Is it
a
open, that?
fucking Bramall Lane, like
Oh.
match day bastard.
Oh,
It's
man, I need to be in
such
there.
when you walk in the toilets, the stench of piss hits just the hits the back of your throat.
Is it a
Do you know
good
what I
pint though?
mean?
Is it good Guinness?
Oh god, it will give you. Do you know what? On match day when it's flowing, lager's all right. Don't know about the Guinness. I'd give the
I thought you
Guinness
said
a
flowing. I
wide.
thott you meant the piss. I was like,
Well, the beer,
When
the
the piss is
piss,
flowing.
yeah, the piss, the beer. But yeah, it's one of them ones that's proper stinky toilet. For me, that's a mark of a pub.
We went.
yeah,
We like a rough boozer, but we went in the Raven in Wakey the other day, and that was a little. I love a rough
Yeah,
boozer, but
fucker.
there's no excuse for not being clean.
Yeah.
It wasn't clean.
Oh,
I
well,
was waiting for.
in the
for the
boozer
diarrhea.
itself.
Yeah,
The clean, the smelling as well.
she didn't look
Smelled
after
like wet
herself.
dog.
Bless her.
So I went in a pub with my old man the other day. He's just moved villages, and we walked in,
Village
and you
pub.
could smell
Village life.
Bleach. If you walk into a pub and you can smell
yeah.
cleaning,
That's what you
I
want.
ain't trusting that place is
That's what you
clean.
want a bit of bleach.
But then we went into another pub and I was like, oh, it smells like warm ale, but like no, it smells
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it smells right in here. It doesn't smell.
It smells pub lived in.
Yeah, yeah. It smells like
Yeah.
people go
Yeah,
here.
yeah,
It doesn't
yeah,
smell like this has just been.
Yeah,
To be fair, like I'm past that now, like of going clubbing. Like I can't hear myself think. Like even I went for a restaurant meal the other day, and it's just so loud. Like me and Leanne, and I was just like, I can't even. I don't want to do this. It's just like I love pubs. Like
Yeah.
pubs,
And he's
sitting down,
a
having few
former
pints.
DJ, and he used to make the loudest dubstep you'd ever fucking listen to. You know,
Yeah.
the most loudest, obnoxious dubstep you'd ever hear. In your
That
life.
was my
And now
jam,
he's sat there
yeah.
going, "This music is far too loud for my
I can't
for
think.
my
Yeah,
pizza
yeah.
meal."
Yeah,
He's got tinnitus.
I've-
Will's got
Music-
tinnitus
I've got
now.
tinnitus from guitar.
My
right?
missus.
Oh man,
my missus.
cymbals
ass.
for me. Oh,
How's your tinnitus?
It's all right now, but as soon as I get
Do you
into
have
bed,
a specific noise or?
as soon as I get into bed tonight, it will be.
Oh,
and
you
that's it.
fucker.
Just gotta go to sleep with it.
Weird, because my missus had it like ramp up. She got over it. She was like, I'm never going to get silence again kind of thing. Literally ramped up, 2 days ago, because she's been really ill, because that triggers it sometimes, especially if she gets any sinus infections and stuff.
Oh,
So that's
yeah.
weird you say that, because she's literally going through a bit of a ringer at the minute. and she's
Mine's
like,
not
oh my God.
linked to anything like that. Mine's just permanent.
Interesting.
Just
Because,
not-
well, to be fair, banding, isn't it?
Non-relentless, just martial
Do you
amplification.
and you still gigging with the band?
No, we're on a bit of a break actually.
Okay.
Got to the back end of last year, and it's like 20 years last year.
Yeah.
So I was just like, let's have a bit of time off, lads. Let's
Yeah,
have a bit
yeah.
of a break and just put some energy into some other things for a little while. But
Yeah.
this album was obviously all done and recorded and ready to go. So it was kind of a bit of a, there you go, we're gonna have some
Yeah.
time off now, sort of thing. Yeah.
Have you? What I sort of found towards the I've not made any music for a while. We've started talk because so I'll give us a very brief backstory of me and Dave. We met through skateboarding. Then we were in bands together for years. Then we were in a comedy rap group which did really, really well in our local area called 50 Sniffs. And that was it was just like it was like
Just to interject.
it was parodies of
Just to
stuff.
interject, Jim,
Yeah.
co-op, I had somebody say, because they Googled, and they said, oh, what was this about 50 Sniffs? And I went, oh, God. I went, okay.
Oh wow.
Yeah, somebody in the co-op.
Okay, somebody in the co-op, right?
Jesus. Like,
Nice. Okay,
yeah.
cool. So we still get recognised in our local area for that.
Brilliant.
But then I've done solo music. Dave's done solo music. I've DJed for years, and towards the end of me making music on my own, I was like, I'm not actually enjoying any of this process. I'm just writing stuff for the sake of writing it. I'm trying to make a sound that I like, sort of emulate kind of sounds, and write lyrics that I think of like, I don't know, clever, and like they've got triple like thinking too much about it and not just writing and enjoying it. Do you ever get any of that towards the end, or did you always enjoy it? And
I love the creating part of it and writing the music and going in the studio. It was really difficult. Like I say, George will testify for this. We've been in rooms with 300, 400 people all singing as songs.
Yeah.
And then the next week I was in a room with my mum. And it went on like that for such a long time where one night we were like, fucking hell, this is amazing. And then we're still doing gigs to nobody when we went out of our local area.
the highest highs to the lowest lows, isn't it?
And that just got to me in the end, and I just...
Yeah.
But we've
It's
done some...
tough. It's tough.
Yeah,
We've
it's tough.
done 2 gigs this year, one in the Peace Hall. That was the year before.
Man, that's sick.
That was
in
3,000.
Halifax.
Yeah, that was
Yo.
brilliant.
Lovely venue.
And then we did a
Were you,
festival.
were you playing on your own, or
In the
as
Peace
part
Hall,
of a line?
It was the
Local
Peace
bands,
Hall
wasn't it?
put it on for local bands, but
dope, man. Come
because
on.
we've been going so long, and because it was a prestigious venue, like every man and his dog that ever liked our band came in, and it was just full. It was amazing.
That's beautiful, man.
And then we do a local festival as well. I think there were 8,000 there this year.
Beautiful stuff.
So we do some big stuff, but then we'd still be going and doing a club to like 50 people. And I struggle with that because it's like that James lyric, you know, if you hadn't tasted riches, you could live with being poor.
Yeah.
And I did it for a long time, and I just got to a point where I was like, if I can't have a big crowd week in, week out, I've just need to break from
I
this.
used to Twitch stream, right? And I tried it for like 2 or 3 years, a big gamer. And
You guys know what Twitch is, right?
No.
It's
Twitch is like
it's a streaming platform where people watch other people play games.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
YouTube gaming is another. Yeah, they have that. And honestly, having that viewer number just on when I was like 1 or 2 viewers, God bless them, they're watching me or not. They probably just got on.
Yeah.
They just
I was
walked up.
definitely one of the 2.
Jesus, it's just like so soul destroying.
Yeah.
You're looking at it, you're like, oh, fucking hell, I wish I was. So in the end, I hid the numbers and I just acted in my head like I'm just I'm live to 50,000 people.
Yeah.
Bit harder to do when you're on stage and
Yeah,
you
yeah,
literally
yeah.
only see-
The problem is when you play into the fucking glass collectors, isn't it? You're like, oh yeah, no one.
To be fair, one of the best bands. Remember Arcane Roots?
Yeah. I
And
do.
when they were just coming up, and I was like, they every single time they played in front of a crowd, whether there were 2, whether there were like 200, they'd just go for it. Like there was only like I remember going to one of their gigs. It's like 2 people. This Sheffield. And they were all just
there,
going
yeah,
for it. I
yeah.
was like, oh shit, these guys, even though nobody there, like, fuck it, we're just gonna.
One caveat I will say about that is easier to do when you've not been doing it as long. If you've been doing it for quite a lot of years, then towards the end you're just like, I don't need to do these gigs. I could just do the odd big gig and enjoy it a bit
George was there, like in our local town, was there with 300 people in the parish, all singing every lyric to every one of his songs. And then 2 weeks later, we played another gig round the corner.
Yeah.
But because we'd pulled that home crowd in the weeks before. I think about 20 people came.
Yeah.
And he got up and walked out. He couldn't watch me because he was like, I can't see him
Yeah,
going
yeah,
through this
yeah.
agony.
You know each other very well,
Yeah.
though, so obviously you've seen.
Soul destroying, innit?
Yeah, yeah.
Soul
Oh,
destroying.
mate,
I
fucking
need
right.
a crowd. Like, I'm the total opposite of most people. If there's 3 people in, I'm sulking. If there's
Yeah.
10,000 in there, I'm absolutely bouncing.
See,
off
I'm the
walls.
opposite to
bringing
that. I'm like, fuck it.
And that
I-
sounds.
I get it though. I do have that feeling.
You
of
need
like,
energy
oh, I
to
wish-
feed off. It's,
Yeah.
it's the same when I do DJ gigs now. Like, if I'm DJing to 4 people, it's harder because they're not sure. They're not like getting stuck in. If you've got a
Yeah.
room, like people tend to get energized from other people. Not everybody, but like in a crowd like that, people tend to get energized over the people, and the band feed off that,
That's true,
give
yeah,
back
that's
into
true.
the crowd, and then it goes that way.
Yeah,
You
that
get
is
5 or
true.
6 people at the front that know your track in a room of 50. The
Yeah.
whole room's into it.
Absolutely.
If those
That's
5 or
true.
6 people aren't there,
Yeah.
everybody's just sort of awkwardly going.
Yeah.
Mate, I had one the other day. I was DJing a venue. It was relatively quiet, but one guy was just killing it on the dance floor. And he was dancing to every tune, and then as soon as he's like, at first of all, people are gathering around him taking the piss a bit, but then they're like, "No,
Join
this
in.
is a vibe actually."
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then by the end of it, more people are coming in because they're seeing this thing, and it builds up, and you're like, "That's the magic of music,
Yeah,
right?"
yeah.
But you don't get that as much at gigs. It's harder.
It's hard.
Yeah,
I'm going to go on a little caveat. Is that the right word?
yeah, go for it, mate. Yeah.
It's very strange, like mine and George's relationship, because we know each other through him coming to watch me doing what I do or did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you mentioned that earlier. Yeah.
And we've always been mates, and I mean 15 years down the line, and now I'd heard how good George was at football. Like I'd literally
Right, yeah,
heard
yeah.
it through people I knew that he didn't know, but had played with him in all the local leagues. My mates, they're like, "Oh, George Dawson, yeah, fucking hell, good footballer him." I'd never seen him
Skillings.
play,
Yeah.
so he'd watched me for 15 years. He knew me ins and outs. He knew if I
Yeah.
was having a bad gig.
Yeah.
I'd never seen that talent side of what he could do.
Yeah.
And because I never came and watched you playing when you were playing for what were they called? Ashton? Did you play
Ashton,
for?
yeah, Ashton
I'd never been
United,
and
yeah.
played. And my little lad needs some lessons in football. Like he wants to
Yeah.
improve himself. And George was like, "Oh, I'll give him a lesson." Honestly, about 6 weeks ago, I stood at the side of the pitch watching George kicking a ball around, teaching my lad. My jaw was on the floor. I was quite
Yeah.
emotional because I was like, I've never seen your talent.
Yeah,
And I was
yeah,
there in
yeah,
the
yeah.
moment. I mean, the way you were, I know I'm bigging you up now, but
No,
the way
no.
you were
But the-
moving on the ball, I was like,
You guys got a lot of love for each other. It's nice.
unbelievable.
It's
Because-
nice.
But it's so weird to know somebody and know that they know what your strengths are.
Yeah.
But so far down the line in a friendship to go, freaking hell, look what you can do on a ball. And then
Yeah.
he'll say, "Will, you come and stand here," and there's fucking legs going
Yeah.
everywhere. I'm like, hey. I'm like, what's his name? Peter Kay in that advert. Have it.
Have it.
Honestly,
Yeah.
I just want to say that publicly, that I was very...
What position did you play?
When I was younger, it was left wing, bit quicker than a full back, and then into centre half. Yeah, so I was left foot. You see,
Right.
It was just like-
Pinging
that's
the ball
magic,
about.
though.
Yeah.
That's magic, isn't it? That's like
Yeah.
not many people are all are left footers, right? It's or
all
less
best
of them.
ones are out there.
Yeah, there you
Maradona.
go. Yeah, there you go.
Interesting.
What you
Messi.
switched
In the
on
words of
that
Steve
pitch,
Bratton, you want to act like Maradona, you better
Oh,
fucking play like
God,
him.
yeah.
Carry on.
Sorry, what you switched on in that pitch in that moment, I know you were only showing my lad, but I was like,
Just basics, isn't it?
just, mate, honestly.
But to
that's
you,
your-
it's basic. To you,
yeah.
it's basics. To me, I'd be like, okay, I'm gonna sit down
Well,
here.
Yeah, well, that's
I'd be
mate.
out of breath just looking at a football.
I was
like-
always better with my hands than I was my feet. I would try to play football.
Goalkeeper.
I just couldn't. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I
wanking
don't
men
know.
off.
Wanking myself off.
Donkeys.
Yeah, wanking donkeys off. Allegedly.
yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Nah,
he's
could
got no
never kick a
camera
ball.
on. He can't defend himself. I feel tight here.
No,
man.
no,
I'm
it's
sorry.
all good. No.
I'm sorry. No, all the love, mate. All the love. Yeah. So
Just write a note down. Jim being a cock.
have you lads got anything on the horizon that you're looking forward to with Green Attic? Well, so you've done some collaborations. You've got a new space that you're moving
Yep.
into, like a new unit.
Yeah.
So you've sort of leveled up on production and stuff, and I guess it's really starting to move now.
It is, yeah. it's
What's the
moving.
next year or two look like for you
Yeah.
guys? Anything else you want to do?
Just
with
to
it?
keep getting bigger, growing
Yeah.
the business. I think we get to that point when we need another pair of hands, really.
Yeah.
Amen.
Well,
Yeah, we feel that.
Yeah, we feel it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could always use a second pair of hands.
Yeah, and this is what you do full time.
full time, yeah. This is a full time job. We're not just taking the piss.
yeah.
No, this is
How do you do you out? Is it never? Because I mean, I guess we all speak for each. You never switch off when you have your own business.
the hours.
Never.
Ago,
And this is why I need alt stock out of my
You
house.
might take respites, but you're always either on your phone looking at something, looking at a message, trying to get that.
He's a
next one.
nightmare. You're a nightmare.
I can't switch off.
I
It's
can
hard.
switch
Trouble.
off, but that's because I've got two young kids. I have no choice.
My missus
Yeah.
is fucking driving. Will you just fucking put your phone down?
When I'm out and I
your
can't, if I
phone
get a
down.
message ping up for a
But if the
potential
orders
job,
are coming
I'm
in,
like,
you've got.
That's what I'm saying. Orders
Orders
are
about
in.
an order. This could be
Fucking
£100
hell.
here. This
That's
could be
it.
200 quid.
Sat
here.
watching film of a night. Says, let's see how long you do. Half an hour. Fucking phone. Oh yeah, 2 orders there.
Yeah.
I have to go get them, go pack them. Like, but it's like we're moving soon, so we won't have that problem. I need to separate work
Yeah.
from. But it's hard to switch off.
Yeah.
You're constantly thinking of that next thing. What's the next thing we're gonna do? What
Yeah.
we're gonna,
Yeah.
Oh, we're gonna.
But that's it. You guys have got drive and ambition, and you're
That's what you
passionate
want.
about what you do, and you
That's a big
you
difference.
know what
yeah.
you do, which is beautiful. Like it's good to see.
What would you say to people? Because I get asked this quite a lot. Because people are like, "Oh, how do you even start your own business?" Things like that. What would you say to
God,
somebody who's probably doing a job,
yeah, who
listening
wants
to
get out
this?
of it.
They're like, "Fuck, I can't do this anymore. Like, I think I need to do my own thing." What would you say to someone like that? What advice would you give? If they wanted to
if
do
you-
their own career,
Yeah, there's a
in
couple.
something.
There's a couple lads that always ask this. If you're really passionate about something, give it a go. Then, but don't just fucking leave your job and leave
Yeah,
it.
yeah, right.
Don't
Yeah.
just fucking sack your job off and look.
Yeah.
Can't pay your bills. You can't pay your rent.
That's what I did, and I would advise not doing that. Yeah.
Yeah.
You got
my
Yeah.
thing was a crossover, but I started to earn more doing this. Then my job was paying me, so
Yeah.
I went in one day to office, just said, right, I'm done. Gave no notice.
What were you doing before this? by the way?
Working
We don't
in
think we
care,
asked you.
yeah. With,
Oh yeah, so
yeah,
yeah,
of
you did.
course.
say
At that
yeah.
point, I was doing private care,
Yeah,
taking people out and about, out on their outings, doing the shopping with them,
yeah,
taking them to concerts, football matches,
Yeah.
which was great. But I was sat
very
there.
very like wholesome
Yeah,
stuff,
it
but
was- I was
also
working-
time consuming.
I was working one-on-one with people at that point where I was paid to just take them out
yeah,
by themselves, which was really good.
yeah.
But
You mentioned at the start as well. Sorry to jump in.
Yeah, go on.
You're working with Alzheimer's and dementia patients. Do you guys do stuff for that now within Green Attic, or like do you ever work with like people like that, or do any
I
charitable
keep in
stuff
touch with a
for
couple of clients that I used to see,
Nice.
but they're not tend to be rocking Adidas or Nike.
Yeah. Well, this is very true. Yeah.
They tend to be having a bit more Burtons on next. Remember Burtons? They don't.
Oh,
wear them,
yeah,
do they?
vibes. If you
Burtons.
get, that might be rare now.
Yeah, well,
Get a Burton's jumper here, mate.
I've kept in touch with one of my clients who he's literally just left home. He was home independent with his mum and dad,
Nice, yeah.
disabled, wheelchair. He was a bit very independent. Drove. I just helped him take his swimming and then go for a meal every now and again. And he's a whiz on computer. And he's like, if you need any help with your website, let us know. I'm like, yeah, we'll do. Of course, I'll definitely let you know, because he's very independent and he wants to move on with his career.
Graft in, yeah.
Yeah. So keep in touch with him especially.
Yeah.
But as for, I don't think I'd want to go back into care. I
Yeah,
think I did
yeah.
my time.
Yeah, yeah.
I did a good 10 years at it, and it was rewarding but hard work at the same time.
Yeah.
Mentally draining more than
Yeah,
more than
course.
physically.
I think you got to be a certain type of person.
You got to be a people's person.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
You guys clearly are people's persons, though. The way that you
Patience.
speak, the audience that you've built up, but obviously you're very amenable and likable characters. So I think that obviously shines
not
through.
everybody digs what we do, because
Nobody
can't-
digs that, yeah.
no, you can't please everyone, and then if you know what I mean.
Just don't listen to them. That's the hardest thing,
I reckon
isn't it?
90% of the feedback we get is positive, in
Yeah, yeah.
90%.
You set your stall out, and you just, if you don't read the comments, if they're just negative and that. It's just like,
Yeah.
We
you
don't
don't
get
give
into
a
that.
monkeys from the start. You're
The
not
old
really a
post and
target.
ghost. That's
Yeah.
what I try to do.
We don't
Post
get into that
and ghost.
replying to
It's
negative
not-
stuff.
we're not-
If
I'm
it's
not
really
interested.
bad, if it's a personal abusive, block.
Yeah.
Off your
There's no
prop.
time, yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No
energy.
energy
No,
for
it's
it
no
at
energy
all.
for that. There's enough negative shit around anyway, isn't there?
Yeah.
Who's trying
I
to-
started commenting back to people. I think I've a few people do this, but
Yeah.
like if people leave negative comments on our podcast or clips
Yeah.
or whatever, I just put hope you're all right because it sounds like you're going through something. And often, a lot of the time, they'll message you and be like, "Oh shit, sorry about that." Like,
Yeah.
I was a
Yeah,
bit,
yeah.
I was a bit
Oh,
rude
yeah.
on this. I'm like, if you're not asked about it, just don't comment.
Don't
Doesn't,
comment.
doesn't
When I
matter.
used to stream, mate,
But-
I used to get people just coming on, just start
Just
shouting
give you a
at me,
bit.
and I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
What was it?
Well,
What was it
yeah.
called? Jimmy One. Yeah.
Oh, the amount of people.
It's like, what's
we-
going
yeah,
on? Like, are
yeah.
you good, man? Like, I ain't. Here to-
People will slag us off and then they'll see us in a boozer or out and about. Oh, you're actually all right. We're just fucking normal lads, you know what I mean? We have a bit of a
Yeah.
laugh in front of the camera, showing you some training,
We have
showing
a-
you some clothes.
Well, this is the thing. Are you
or-
guys quite known in your area as well for what you do? Then,
well,
like
well,
you've got.
say we're in Sheffield. We just a couple of blokes just spotted at Meadowhall there.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, I bought
Fucking
the
hell,
trailers the
lads.
other week. Yeah, nice. Where you go? So off to a podcast.
Yeah,
I
you're like
went-
celebs almost
Yeah.
in Yorkshire a bit. Like,
Yeah.
well, along the lines.
Well, a lot
of,
of the stuff I go to watch football or go to a concert. A lot of our customers are in that. They're in that area.
yeah,
aren't
that's
they?
their
what
their
they're into.
domain. Yeah, yeah.
So you do see a lot of faces, and you have a pint with them, say hello, and yeah, it's word of mouth as well. If they tell their friends, they tell their friends.
Yeah, yeah.
If you want a cheap pair of trainers, what's a pair of gazelles on Adidas site now? 90 quid.
Yeah, yeah.
Get 60 quid with us.
Yeah, and they're good quality as well. Like I've seen some of your stuff. Some of them have come off the feet of dead men, but
Yeah, well,
but they're not for sale. They're just for me.
I was in Corfu this year, and as soon as we got in the hotel and with the family, obviously, this guy shouts across the pool, "Don't tell the missus!"
How did that become your tagline? by the way?
oh,
You were saying
no,
before, like, just guys message you all the
we
time.
were
like,
just fucking
post it
about,
somewhere.
fucking about one day.
I think
And I said,
said-
I think we need a tagline in the
Yeah.
video.
DTTS.
And I just said, "Don't tell the missus." I says, "Let's just use that till we think of something better."
Yeah.
And
No,
then it
that's
really
stuff.
started
It's the
catching
weird
fire.
things, mate, that just come off the random. Like, if you think
Yeah.
about it too much, it won't ever happen.
Yeah.
Something just comes along, and
Yeah.
you're just like, oh yeah, don't tell the
Oh,
missus.
lads love it.
DTTS is every you can
time-
have that on
yeah.
a shirt. as
Every
well.
time the messages when they put an order in, don't tell the missus.
Yeah.
And it's just stuck. Say with Green Attic, the name Green Attic.
Oh, what am I saying?
I-
DTTM.
DTTM. I was gonna.
Yeah.
I was
Jesus.
literally gonna call you on that. And I was like, no, I'm just gonna let that slide. I'm gonna let it go.
I always have this thought where, like, how hard women had to fight for equal rights, like, generally in society in this country.
Yeah, yeah.
But then how many women properly wear the trousers at home? I mean, like, percentage-wise, it's such a strange, like, concept to really get your head around that, because they've had to fight so hard to
Yeah.
be part of society, but the amount of blokes that are sat at home that
Fearing
are
for their
controlled
lives,
and
yeah.
feared for their lives
Yeah.
and are given their wage back as their own pocket money, it
Yeah.
like blows my mind. I've sleepless
Do you know
nights
that
about it.
personally? Do you know that somebody is wage back as their pocket money? That's
Oh,
insane.
many,
yeah.
Is
many,
that
many
because
men.
the men have gone, I'm incredibly irresponsible with my money, please
There's
help
a bit
me?
of that.
bit of
There's
both,
a
I
bit
think.
of that. A bit
Yeah.
of that. But
Yeah.
yeah,
But
I could list off all sorts of stories like that.
Oh,
Yeah.
there's a good 20-30% of lads that don't want their wives and missus to know when they're buying stuff from us.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm telling you.
and you guys, I mean, you guys, obviously, you're dealing with this sort of day in, day out. Are you, like your community of people, your community of regulars, I guess, like, how is it, I don't know, like, how is it different to everywhere else, but how is it, what defines, like, the Green Attic community? What's it like?
It's
It's like a weird question to ask, sorry.
It's quite a mixed bag. Some of the guys that we've got in our community really surprise me that they're customers, because they're really, like, well-to-do and, like, well-respected
Right.
members of community.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you've got, like, some celeb people that buy from
Yeah,
you and
there's
that
a
sort of
couple-
thing,
we've-
and rich folk. And
Yeah, we've bought a few bits off celebrities who've had gear given to them, because a lot of celebrities now get
freebies.
freebies,
Yeah.
and then I'm not going to wear it, might as well flog it or move it on, and then
Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. I never thought about that as an untapped kind of source.
it's,
to,
yeah.
And they
Interesting.
want to remain anonymous, don't
Oh,
they?
they don't want to know
Well,
that.
you're not
Yeah,
like
so we won't
Brad
shout
Pitt
them
or
out on
anything,
this.
but yeah, no.
Yeah.
maybe after the pod we'll have some.
Yeah, yeah, we're definitely. Yeah.
Um,
How long are we done, by the way?
Mate, we're 1 hour 20, dude.
Oh, cool. Yeah, so
I
we'll probably
was
wrap it
gonna
up
I was
in-
gonna
Yeah.
say
Yeah.
about don't tell the missus. Yeah, I definitely don't tell her about the McDonald's will get delivered to the back door.
Up your arsehole.
I honestly, it'll be 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, oh, cheeky McDonald's. I go to bed at like 5. I'm a night
Yeah.
out. Yeah, proper.
Cheeky McDonald's.
Cheeky McDonald's.
In
Mate,
McDonald's
it's
is an arsehole at 2 in
bad.
the
It's
morning.
bad. Pot noodles.
I wonder where all them
McDonald's.
Deliveroo drivers are rocking up to.
Yeah. And I put on the note as well. I'm like,
Don't
do
tell the
not
missus.
knock on the door. But now it's going to be, don't tell the missus.
Huddersfield McDonald's killed somebody a few weeks ago.
You
Put-
what?
What?
And put 10 in hospital.
Yeah, what?
From what?
E. coli or...
Oh, you fucker.
No,
New fear unlocked.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
So I'm just trying to help you out here.
Have you,
Wait. We need to.
and also,
touch
can we
on
just
this.
discuss recently? What was it? The fillet of fish thing was giving men. What was it?
Oh, I saw that.
Mercury.
Yeah.
Mercury or something.
That's
Yeah,
all
yeah,
fish.
yeah,
So
yeah.
wait, this is
That's all.
to
It was
do with-
making men sterile.
Can I just say you please just need to double check that because I read it on a social media platform and
On
I'm not
TikTok.
100.
Yeah.
I'm not.
So what was it?
So
There
it
was.
was McDonald's. It killed a person and put 10 in hospital recently, and I'm sure it was one of the Huddersfield ones.
Allegedly.
Because I was like, oh my god, Huddersfield McDonald's. But just fact check me on that before.
I'll give it a Google.
Yeah.
You lads look in like pretty good shape, though. To be fair, so like when you're out on the road, are you eating all this shit, or are you?
We try and avoid it as much as we can, don't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, we failed epically
The
today.
shite today.
I mean, the
like.
only one that's coming up, like Google AI is coming up with it. A man has died after a violent attack outside of McDonald's
No.
No.
in Huddersfield.
That
There
was
is-
my-
we're
that
looking
was
for
my
man
friend. Is he
dies after
called-
violent
is he
diarrhea.
called, his surname? That was my friend. I went to school with him. He was killed.
Yeah, fuck
He
her.
was killed outside Huddersfield McDonald's.
Holy shit!
His brother was in my class. He was year above. Yeah.
All right.
Fucking hell!
R.I.P. Have you got any trainers?
Let's not get into this conversation. but let's not get into.
Sorry.
Huddersfield's a war zone, guys.
Huddersfield's like, what's going on down there?
Knife- knife
It's a
crime.
war zone.
To be fair, Boston's a bit that way.
And-
Isn't
We
it,
probably need to bleep his name out.
yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
Just put a little note in there.
Bleep
Just-
name out.
Just bleep his name out.
Well, lads.
Just because I did
It's
ask
a
if he
few
got any
years
trainers.
ago. This probably pre-COVID. I think that was.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
nightmare.
I want to address your question a bit earlier because I feel like we didn't give you a proper answer to like somebody wanting to start their own business.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah, go for
I
it, go for
drifted
it.
us away
Yeah,
from that as well.
It's a funny one, isn't it? Because if you're sort of like late teens, early 20s, and you're still living at home, it's super easy. Just bloody get on with it. Just give it a go. You've got nothing
Yeah.
to
No
fear.
bills,
It's-
yeah,
Yeah,
no
yeah.
bills, no family to support.
Yeah.
I don't know whether I would have had the push if it wasn't for COVID, though. That's the thing. We're in that mindset. I always toyed with it, and I just suffered.
Yeah.
I was just like, for 9 years, it's about 7 in an office and 6 or 7 before that, like just working at
You were
Tesco's.
comfortable in that, and you're getting your way.
I
That-
wouldn't even say
That's the
comfortable.
dangerous
I
thing,
got
isn't
to
it?
the-
When you're comfortable, and then it's
Mate, I got
it's
to the
coming
point I was
home
just
from.
miserable, man.
But
I was just like, what am I doing?
you've got to stagger it. You've got to do your job, and you've got to do
That's
you've got to
the-
do an Elon Musk and put your 16-hour day in. Do your little side project at the same time. Build it up like George said, and just go for it. It's a hell of a lot harder if you. I mean, we started this. I was 40-year-old. It's
Yeah.
a hell of a lot older if you're 40-year-old. You've got 2 kids.
Yeah.
I mean, I was already
Yeah, that's it,
self-employed, so I
yeah,
kind
yeah.
of transitioned a bit. But
Yeah, it's one of those. I feel like you've got to be prepared to go out and do a day's work, and then leave your tools in the van, and then come inside, and
Carry
then
on
you're
working.
not sat down watching the telly. You're not scrolling on your phone.
I
You're
can't
doing
admit, that
your,
was hard for me.
you're doing your graft in the
Yeah.
evening. You're
Yeah.
building it up like that.
The other thing is as well, like when we started for the first few months, I took a huge wage drop.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Biblical.
I did.
From
I did.
from
Yeah, I
fixing
did.
boilers and
Yeah,
installing heating systems
My
to doing
God.
that with him, I took a biblical wage drop. But I was so sick. I was swinging my legs out of bed and having so, this sounds a really twatty thing to say.
No,
but
no,
some
no.
days are 4-figure days fitting boilers and
Yeah.
heating systems if you could get it done in the day. And I was
That's not a
miserable.
It's not a twatty thing to do to earn money, but that's
I was
kind of what
miserable.
that's kind of this whole podcast is about.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
like,
This
money
is it,
doesn't
yeah.
necessarily
No,
equate
yeah, yeah.
happiness.
That's why
How
we
much happier?
called it depressed CEOs,
Yeah.
because it's like a lot of CEOs are actually depressed. They can't figure out why. But I've got money, but
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
You've
not
got
about money.
everything
Not
that you've ever
enjoying
wanted,
stuff.
ever dreamed
And
of, the
people think-
house, whatever.
Yeah, people think that's. We've got a friend who thinks like money is just like, oh, if I just earn a bit more, I've got
Yeah.
to the point with him now. I'm like,
How much is enough?
How much is
ask,
enough?
I
We
guess.
always say, and it's like, oh, it's never
Yeah.
enough, is it? You're like,
One of the questions I would like to
Yeah.
ask you is like, how quickly, once you've made the switch, obviously you're dropping money or whatever, so there's a little bit of worry about that. But how quickly did you notice your attitude and happiness change once you found something that was fulfilling and like, and also like, I guess how quickly, because of that fulfillment, did your pay go up? Do you know what I mean? Because you were
I was
grafting.
other than like a bit of anxiety, and I don't like using that word because it's a modern word, but it is a real thing. Other than a bit of anxiety of this isn't a real job, what am I doing?
Yeah.
It was instant. I was happier instantly.
It's like that's almost like an imposter thing, isn't it?
I still have it.
because it's drilled into us. If you're part of society, you work for a company, you do this. You don't necessarily go out and do what you guys do.
I still have it now. Well, this week I've been saying to him, I was like, "Is this really a job? Are we doing a job here?"
Yeah.
Because I mean, I was in the forces at 16,
Yeah.
and then I have manually applied my hands for 20 odd years
Yeah.
to make money, like these
Manual
equal
labour,
money.
yeah, yeah.
And now, I mean, we're still applying ourselves manually, but it's not like lugging a van full of tools up 3 flights of stairs.
No.
It's just not. It's not
Boxes
that.
full of
Slugging
No,
800
no.
boxes of size
Well,
7s.
But it's wondering where he is when I'm unloading the pissing van on my own, mainly. But anyway.
How does any business start? Somebody has to take a plunge at the beginning,
Yeah.
and eventually, a business, if it does grow, you start employing people.
Yeah.
And that business is it employs people to be. You have jobs then.
Yeah.
I when you go to a job interview, right, and you like, I feel like I was always pretending just to be someone I wasn't, just to get the job.
Yeah.
And you're not
Bullshit.
just
Yeah,
they're
Love
not
that.
just asking you to be like, they're not asking you to do a job. In most companies, they're asking you to love that job
Yeah.
a lot of the time.
Tick a
Love
box.
our company. Like, not only are you just giving
Make
your
us
like
money.
soul away, that's like
Yeah.
make us money. Plus, you got to love what you do.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people, not everybody, not speaking for everybody, because I can hear
Yeah.
everybody now going, "Well, I love my job." Yeah, of course, a lot of you do love your job,
Yeah.
but there's a lot of you out there that's like,
Yeah.
the
If you've
fuck
got
am I
that question
doing?
in the back of your head, you're not sure if you do love your job or not, then maybe you don't, and maybe that's when
Yeah.
you start thinking about what else you can do.
And again, I don't want to shit on people that just do, everyday work, because some people love it, and that's cool.
I'm
That's all good.
eternally jealous of people that have got mundane jobs, but
And they
just
genuinely
They're just
love it.
happy.
But they're content. I'm
Fair
so
enough.
Say
jealous
that all
of
the time. We're like, it must be. I don't want to call those people stupid, but it must be nice to be able to go. I go to my job, I come home, I'm happy. I've got my
Yeah.
wage check. Go on 2.5 holidays a year.
Yeah.
Got a nice Mondeo that I wash every Sunday. I can't live like that. It
Some
doesn't work
people
for me.
It doesn't
When
work for me,
somebody
yeah.
asks me in a
Same,
job
same.
interview, why do you want to work for this company? And the answer immediately that we've said this many times, I want the money. I want
Yeah.
the fucking money. I don't want anything else. I don't want to come to the Christmas party. I don't care about what you've done or you've built up. But then also there's
Christmas party.
there's-
Depends how fit the secretary is, but
yeah. I want the money. I want to bang the secretary. I mean, maybe in my younger days, but, I was more younger and better looking. But I feel like there's other companies that are doing interesting shit that I'd be like, oh, I actually do want to work for
Yeah.
you. But just general job, working for Asda or something like that, I'd be like, I just want some money so
Yeah.
I'm not poor.
Then you got
anymore.
to deal with people that a lot of the time they have like an ego about them. Like some bosses are great. Some bosses,
Well, you
ooh,
we
guys-
just had one in TK Maxx.
ooh,
Yeah.
just a job's worth.
We had a
You're
little
like,
spray of the perfume. George had a little
yeah,
spray
yeah.
of the perfume in TK Maxx. I'm sorry, sir, you can't come round here spraying that unless you're purchasing. Oh, he was well fired up with. He's only stood on the blooming changing room door.
Spray
You're
that
getting paid
fucker in.
12 quid an hour jobs with fuck
Oh,
off,
he was
mate.
he was fuming.
Just let me
TK
freshen
Maxx
my
got these for
armpits up.
free.
Hey,
Fuck off.
hey guys, he might love that job.
He loved it a little bit too much.
I would have sprayed it in his eyes. Went, oh, sorry, mate.
Fuck
Fuck
this
off.
one, mate. Yeah. That's a
Some
sort.
of that in your eyes.
Links
is all-
Africa.
What I was gonna say is as well. So you guys are looking to employ somebody soon.
I think we
What
are getting to-
qualities?
yeah.
What qualities are you looking for in somebody that you're going to employ?
hell.
They've got
What- how is it
neighbouring?
How is it different from like Asda?
Well, whoever's got to work for us has got to have a fucking sense of humour.
Yeah, she's got to be fit.
She or he has to have a sense of humour.
She.
Well, yeah, you got to get the diversity.
We've got to tick them boxes.
Got to get
Yeah,
the
there's two of us.
diversity
We
in.
need a female on board now. Yeah.
Hey, do you know what? It will add a little extra dimension, won't it? There'll be detail that a lady would pick out that maybe you two
Absolutely.
guys wouldn't.
We need someone to run website for us.
Amen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can we take a little toilet break? Is that a possibility?
I
To be
think
fair, I think we should wrap it
I
up.
think
Yeah,
we're all
long
wrapped
hours.
up,
Yeah,
lads.
brilliant.
Anything
That's the
else you want to
longest
go
pod
through
we've done.
before?
Let's have
before we
another can of
finish?
beer.
we could probably go another 3 hours. No, I think we've pretty much covered everything.
It's been good. I've enjoyed it.
Where can just to wrap up? Where can we find you?
Yeah, just remind us where we can find you
all
again.
over socials. Your Instagram is Green Attic, Facebook's Green Attic, TikTok Green Attic, website greenattic/.com.
green/attic.com.
Green. We've got eBay shop, we've vintage shop. If you type in Green Attic on Google,
Instagram's our
yeah,
main platform.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but I
check
think-
him on
yeah.
Instagram. Smashing it over there.
Google type it in. It'll take you to all the platforms.
This is your man for all social media inspired events at Green
I
Attic.
try my best.
I try and put a reel up. It takes me 6 hours, and he does it in 30 seconds.
No, you guys are
Just gotta keep
smashing
moving.
it on the socials. Love to see it. Keep doing the thing. Let
Yeah,
us.
cool.
Yeah. Well, it's been a pleasure having you in. Thanks for coming to see us.
Thank you
Thoroughly
for
enjoyed
having
it.
us, man.
And we'll chat to you again, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
some
We'll
point
do this
soon.
again. For sure.
Definitely.
Definitely, let's get together again.
Much
Shout
love.
out to Paint the World Music.
Shout out Paint the World Music. Wait, hold on. Who's that? Elon
Sure,
Musk?
mate, innit?
Cheers, guys. Thank you
Cheers,
very
man.
much.
Cheers,
Bye.
guys.